following is a presentation of The Day.
The story could be the best team versus the star player, but a closer look paints a different picture. Griswold has been the best team all year, loaded with seniors who have played together for years. Jeff Souvenance, Christian Russell, and Evan Merchant are high-energy leaders, and with 3 times the strain, the Wolverines play hard, defend like crazy, and drive teams nuts. Coach Rob Molesky says they win ugly, but man, do they win. Bacon Academy learned that lesson in the semifinals, as Griswold beat them for the 3rd time. Now they try to do the same against their toughest challenger, Killingly. They are 0-2 versus Griswold, but firmly confident they can beat the Wolverines. Thomas Dreibholz and Johnny Kazantzis played big in their semifinal win over Wheeler, and Coach Jim Crabtree can operate under an enviable philosophy. We have Yanni, and you don't. Yanni Baribeau might be the best-kept secret in the state and is a highlight reel unto himself. A complete game from Yanni might be enough to propel Killingly to a victory. The consummate team will need some stars to emerge, and the star will need his entire team. It's got the makings of a classic. It's the ECC Division II Boys Basketball Championship, and it's live on game day on theday.com.
Under the bright lights of the Mohegan Sun, it's Championship Wednesday here. Mother Nature did its best to put some cold on us, but the heat is back, and it's all here tonight, live on Game Day. Game Day brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that is good begins with a smile, and at Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you the personalized dental care you deserve, so contact us today at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. Casey O'Neill, along with the coach, Chris Giusti, and it is the first of 2 tonight, Killingly and Griswold, a matchup that I think everyone saw coming heading into the tournament. It's here, the team Griswold, the team Killingly, stars all over the place. What do you got?
Well, it's the 3rd matchup between the 2 rivals up there in the northern section of the ECC, and Griswold got the better of Killingly the first 2 times around, but Coach Jimbo Crabtree of Killingly feels like his team is playing much better than the last time that they met on January 20th. They're 10-1 since inserting the freshman Colby Mills into the starting lineup. For Griswold, they've just been rolling all season. One of Rob Molesky's best seasons as a head coach. Remember, he was the architect of that great Woodstock zone that won a state championship a few years back. He came to his hometown of Griswold, has been here, and this is one of the best teams. Asked him yesterday, is this one of the best teams you've had? And he said it certainly is. We have a lot of seniors. We play hard. We have depth. They're ready to win a title.
Yeah, both teams loaded with seniors, and one senior in particular, Yanni Baribeau. I said he might be the best-kept secret in the state. This is going to be his first opportunity on the big stage, a complete player, headed to Nichols. He can do it all, and tonight he will be put to the test in that he's going to need to do it all to overcome this very good Griswold team. We have a team here on Game Day, and one of our most important parts of it is the dapper George Hathaway. George, what are you thinking?
Well, there may be snow on the ground, but it's nice and warm here in Mohegan Sun Arena. And it's a tale of 2 opposites here, where we have Griswold High School. They're more of a team unit, very defensive heavy. We saw it with the Strain trio, in the semifinals matchup. And then for Killingly, on the opposite side of things, it's more that star player in Yanni Baribeau. But the difference maker there is for Killingly is going to be how can the role players step up and help Yanni out, because we know that defensive pressure is going to be on it. Guys?
Thank you, George. Juice, I've been a believer for a long time that give me a star, surround them with players who understand their roles, and I'll take on the team with the 5 really good players. I think that's kind of what we have tonight. If Yanni plays like a star, Drypoltz knows what his role is. Kazantzis has really embraced his role. You mentioned Mills now in the starting lineup. It feels like Killingly's finally taken that identity. Yanni and guys that really know. And on a given day, Kazantzis or Drypoltz can play like a star. For Griswold, Souvenance is great, Merchant's great, the Strains, Russell, but they don't have the star power of Yanni. So it's really, to me, it's one of those great age-old questions of sports in general.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that argument, Casey, it makes it kind of easy for Coach Molesky to game plan, right? If I could take away 21, let somebody else beat us, I can live with that. And I know that's what he's been preaching. Coach Mo has been a proponent of switching defenses, giving teams different looks. So Killingly has to be ready to come up with some ways to score the ball if they take Yanni away.
And they've done it with the Strains. Let's see how they do it tonight. Let's send it over to our PA addresser, the voice of the Mohegan Sun for the ECC, Bill Glennie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mohegan Sun Arena for the 2023 ECC Division II Boys Basketball Tournament Championship. Game number 1 tonight features the number 3 seed of Killingly High School. And the number 1 ranked Griswold Wolverines. Before we introduce tonight's starting lineup, I'd like to address your attention to the big board as we meet the players in tonight's game. Brought to you by Game Day and The Day.
Owen Glushenko, Ferry Middle School.
Ashton Goodwin, Griswold Middle School.
Lincoln Waterman, Killingly Intermediate School.
Keith Berry, Killingly Middle School.
Johnny Kazantzis, Brooklyn Middle School.
Colby Mills, Griswold Middle School.
Logan Gagnon, Thompson Middle School.
Kenny Doe, Killingly Intermediate School.
Peter Kazantzis, Brooklyn Middle School.
Michael Fabiano, St. James School.
Yanni Barabo, Brooklyn Middle School.
Thomas Drypoltz, Killingly Intermediate School.
Devin Gallo, Killingly Middle School.
Harrison Bowers, St. James.
Quinn Sumner, St. James.
Lucas Strain, The Trenches.
Jacob Strain, Loot Lake Elementary School.
Michael Strain, OT High School. Tommy Madsen, Sloppy Shores Elementary.
PK Rubino, Locks Elementary.
Evan Merchant, IMG Academy.
Ryan Tate, Moriarty Elementary.
Aiden Plant, Griswold Elementary School.
Mello Curtis, Splash University.
Jeffrey Souvenance, Griswold Elementary School.
Christian Russell, Griswold Elementary.
Aiden Cutter, Griswold Elementary.
Kaden Kozlowskis, Griswold Elementary.
Josh Turner, Sales Elementary.
Matthew Prayer, Griswold Elementary School.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our finalists. First, we begin with the 3 seed from Killingly. In their maroon jerseys with white trim, wins over Stonington and Wheeler earned them a trip to Mohegan. 17-5 on the year, they are led by head coach Jim Crabtree. Killingly fans, make some noise. Here's your starting 5. Starting at guard, a 6'2" sophomore, number 5, Johnny Kazantzis. Starting at guard, a 5'8" freshman, number 10, Colby Mills. Starting at guard, a 6' senior, number 11, Logan Gagnon. Starting at forward, a 6'3" senior, number 21, Yanni Barabo. And starting at forward, a 6'4" senior, number 22, Thomas Drypoltz. This brings us to the top seed in Griswold. Currently 19-3 on the year, wearing their white uniforms with green trim. They punched their tickets to the sun with wins over Putnam and Bacon. Coached by Rob Molesky. Put your hands together, Wolverine fans. Here's your starting 5. Starting at guard, a 6'1" senior, number 1, Lucas Strain. Starting at guard, a 6'1" senior, number 2, Jacob Strain. Starting at forward, a 6'1" senior, number 11, Evan Merchant. Starting at forward, a 6'3" senior, number 22, Jeff Souvenant. And starting at forward, a 6'1" senior, number 23, Christian Russell. Your officials tonight, Mr. AJ Janelli, Mr. Sergio Lewis, and Mr. Anthony Malhoit. Fans, at this time, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Now it's time for some fresh squeezed juice. The keys to the game are brought to you by the Holy Club, the premier indoor golf facility and lounge in southeastern Connecticut, located at 161 Water Street in downtown Norwich. Juice, what are the keys?
Casey for Killingly, ball security. Can't turn the ball over versus the Wolverine pressure. Dominate the glass. Be the more aggressive rebounding team. Create extra shots with offensive rebounds. And never enough Yanni. Casey, I have a fever, and the only prescription is more Yanni. Make sure you get the big man touches on every possession. And for Griswold, keep away from 21. Deny Barabo the ball whenever possible. Mix it up. Keep Killingly off balance by changing defensive looks. And baseline bonanza. Get the ball to the short corner and attack the zone from the baseline.
8 seniors in the starting lineup. That is unheard of this year. No one has it. This game does. Souvenance and Barabo tipped it, and Strain has it for the Wolverines' first possession of the ball game.
Killingly 2-3 zone as expected to open up against this guard-heavy Wolverine team.
Griswold will be very deliberate. Russell pulls up, quick trigger 3, no good. Yanni high for the rebound. And you know you're something, by the way, when you get to be just your first name. When you're just Yanni.
And he will operate at the point guard, but a steal right away.
Jacob Strain gave him fits, but then turned it over to Lucas Strain. Dumped down and I think back door. Drybolts tipped it out of bounds, and they're going to say off of, I think our officials are going to get it right, because I believe that one should be white basketball, and it is. Your officials, AJ Ganelli, Sergio Lewis, and Anthony Malhoit. Sergio and AJ talking that one over, and Anthony Malhoit says, that one's my bad. Nice dump down, Souvenance. And the first basket of the game goes to the Wolverines. Souvenance is the guy, by the way. If there's going to be a guy that can play like a star tonight for Griswold, Souvenance has that ability. He has gotten better all the time. And there's a turnover. The other part of having, you said, everything run through one guy is that guy, you know, the guy trying to do too much too. I love the early going here at the Sun, then the teams settle, right? Right now we're still in that sort of everyone's a little nervous phase.
Yeah, interesting that Killingly, both possessions so far, Yanni bringing it up.
Long 3, no good, and Yanni will push. Strain's back. Baribeau spins, no call, and it's off of him. It'll go over to Griswold. In the previous 2 games, Michael Strain, who starts on the bench, chased Baribeau around all over the place. You're going to see one of the Strains chasing him around as well. I think that's part of why they're putting the ball in his hands at the point, is because when he's off the ball, Killingly struggled to get him the ball. So maybe they're thinking get it into his hands and let him have it.
Absolutely, it's a chess match, and Jimbo looked at the tape, saw that, and now he had the chalk. So he makes the adjustment, but so far a little sloppy on offense for Killingly.
Merchant pulls up and buries a 12-footer on the baseline. You see the seniors for Griswold. All 5 of the starting lineup for Griswold are seniors.
Now Mills at the point. Killingly will run offense.
Kazantzis, there's a dump down to Yanni. Can't catch it. Not the start that Yanni wanted. A wide open look, Merchant, pump fake. Now he'll drive on Drybolts. Too strong, and look at the little Logan Gagnon get up. Only 6 feet, but he got up, took the rebound away.
And Killingly's gonna have to control the glass to stay in this game.
Kazantzis being overplayed by Strain, pulls up 10 feet, bang.
He's heavily dominates to his left side, so I know in the scouting report for the Wolverines is make him go right. Not that time. He was able to get to his strong hand and hit the jumper.
Kick out. Russell with an open 3 look, buries it.
Beautiful inside out, Casey. That's what we call the drive and spray. Gets it to the middle. Perfect pass to the perimeter. Russell hits it in stride.
Strain is going to harass the freshman, Mills. Nice dump down. Kick out. Open look. Kazantzis for 3. No good. And I think Drybolts had a chance to go up strong there, then maybe wants that one back. Russell gets Baribeau in the air. Kicks out. Foul line jumper, no good. And Drybolts rebounds. Turns it over, though, to Souvenance. Another rebound by Drybolts. Turns it over again to Souvenance. And this time he scores. And a quick timeout. And Coach Crabtree wants the timeout, but he also wants a foul, saying my guy's getting hit on the arm.
Okay, and talking to Coach Molesky yesterday, he said Souvenance is the key for his team early in this game. If he gets it going, it changes things because he's a kid that kind of rides off his confidence. So if he can make his first couple shots, which he has tonight, he could be hot all game long. And now Killingly's going to have to make an adjustment to make sure that he does not get those touches on the baseline and doesn't get those offensive rebounds or offensive tips after Killingly establishes a defensive rebound. Just a little sloppy right now for Killingly, out of sorts. Like you said a couple possessions ago, it looked like Drybolts could have just took it right up, and instead he passed up an easy shot. But Griswold's kind of playing heavily towards Yanni, so some other guys are going to get some open looks.
One of the things to keep in mind, and this is something that Coach Molesky said, is they love to get out to an early lead, and they want to get Kincaid, Rubino, and Michael Strain into the game, and they turn up their defensive intensity even more as Baribeau shows you how he can get to the basket. Mike DeMora pointed out in the semifinals that it feels like anytime they need a basket, they can go to Jan. Nice underneath, Souvenance in the right spot, cleans it up. So they get out to the lead, and then they can get more defensive, and they make the game even uglier. They bring in wave after wave, and he says, that's what we'll do. We're just going to go 8 deep with defensive guys, including Rubino and the other Strain. They were up 17-4 at Killingly, and they've got the early lead here now as Russell ahead of the pack with the steal, but Kazantzis with the block and right into the hands of Lucas Strain.
And Killingly's lost in the lights right now.
And no one's back for Killingly and Strain. Right now, Griswold outworking Killingly. No excuses. Merchant for 3, no good. Killingly down 13-4. It was 17-4 at Killingly in their rematch. Kazantzis, no good. Yanni with the putback. And more than anything, Killingly's just getting outworked on the other end. They got to get a defensive stop. And there's a steal. Kazantzis 2-on-1 with Baribeau. And that's what Killingly needs. Settles this thing down a little bit, 13-8.
Yeah, turnovers have been the story in this game early. The ball is slippery. It's bouncing off of people.
And there's another steal, Kazantzis. And he turns it back over. Opportunities are there for both teams.
This is where you need to settle, call a set play, and that's what they're going to do.
Open three, no good for Merchant. And I got to say, right now, Strain is not a threat at the foul line in that 2-3, and Killingly keeps defending him. Kazantzis stepped on the line. So we got our subs come in the game. We'll check those first. We've got Rubino and Strain on cue in the game for Griswold, and Ashton Goodwin in the game for Killingly. They keep flashing Strain to the foul line, but he's not a threat to turn and shoot, and Killingly keeps closing. He keeps kicking it out for an open three. I'm not so sure why they're going to defend that. Souvenance on the ground, turns it over. Here comes Baribeau. 2-on-1, and he'll be fouled by Rubino, and Baribeau will go to the floor. Possession will be with Killingly.
Yeah, to your point there, Casey, Griswold tried to get it to the short corner, which I think Coach Mo wants them to do, but turnover by Souvenance on the baseline led to the run out for Yanni.
They're going to say he was in the act of shooting, and so it'll be 2 shots for Baribeau. We're going to get Russell back into the ball game along with Tommy Matson. And we're going to get a sub also for Killingly. Demetrius Thornton into the game for Killingly. One more for Baribeau. Rubino. Matson dumps down to Souvenance. Strain spins out.
That baseline is still open.
There's Souvenance underneath. And up over the top, no good, tipped. And Souvenance doing work, basket and the foul. He might be the quietest guy in the starting 5, but he's banging underneath the boards. Look at the work of Jeff Souvenance.
Yeah, 8 already, and he's looked the part that Coach Molesky said he had to play tonight. He had to be a guy that established that baseline bonanza, as I said in the pregame, and he has given Killingly fits on the back of that zone.
With Dreipolt's on the bench, this Killingly team becomes a little smaller, and you see they're already rebounding become an issue as Souvenance outworked Thornton. Kazantzis, open look for 3, spots it up and knocks it down. 3 for Johnny Kazantzis.
Way downtown. The college line.
Back to a 1-possession game. Try to get it down to Souvenance. Nice defense stepping in by Gagnon, and Goodwin looking for Yanni backdoor instead. Kazantzis drives with the right, hangs, floats, gets the friendly roll. Johnny Kazantzis coming into his own here. The lead has been cut to 1.
9 for Kazantzis, and Killingly just has to be patient on offense, and they'll get some shots.
I just think with Michael Strain there, until Michael Strain is available, I don't know why the Killingly closes in on that. Matson decided to take out a $3 deposit at the bank, and Baribeau can't get it to fall. Thornton, that's a good rebound. Back to Kazantzis. Now Kazantzis drives left. Straightaway 3, no good, and Souvenance, good position. The Killingly wave, though, they only have 1 sub at a time. Griswold sending 3 at a time. Another 3, no good, back iron. Yanni with the block, goes down hard.
The floor got hurt, not Yanni.
Dump down to Souvenance. What savvy, got Yanni in the air, goes to his strong side, which is his left.
And used the rim for protection, just like you said, Casey, savvy to score that bucket.
Yanni, 1 second, last second floater, bouncing up, no good. We're at the end of 1. 6-point Griswold lead. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. The Holy Club, the premier indoor golf facility and lounge in southeastern Connecticut. Featuring Foresight Sports Simulator technology, you can test your game on the greatest courses in the world. Want to improve your swing? Schedule a lesson with their on-site PGA Pro. Want to host an event? The lounge offers the perfect setting to watch all the big games. Gift cards are available and make the perfect stocking stuffer for this holiday season. Don't wait. Stop by the Holy Club, 161 Water Street in downtown Norwich. 6-point lead here as we are about to start the second quarter. We're going to have some presentations here. The ECC's Jim Bunicor has a presentation for Tom Cantone of the Mohegan Sun.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to direct your attention to center court, where Athletic Director Jim Bunicor is presenting Tom Cantone, the President of Sports and Entertainment, with an ECC appreciation plaque for his unwavering support and commitment to the ECC Boys and Girls Basketball Championships here at Mohegan Sun Arena.
Thank you to Tom Cantone for all they've done here at Mohegan Sun to help us make game day and the Mohegan Sun into a nice cooperative here for the ECCs. 6-point lead for Griswold. We saw Killingly settle it down, but at the end of the day, Juice, I mean, you know more about dissecting offenses and defenses than I ever do, but it just strikes me as odd that though typically you defend that high post, that guy at the foul line, the Strain brothers are occupying that for Griswold, and they're merely there as distributors. So every time Killingly closes with more than one guy, it's either a kick out for three, but it leaves that baseline open for Subans.
Yeah, and Killingly's got to be aware of that, back that zone up a little bit, and discourage that short corner pass. On some possessions, they've been able to. The last couple, Killingly's got it there.
Nice cut by Kazantzis. And they find him for the basket. At the rim, Kazantzis scoring with the right hand.
11 for Johnny. Leads all scorers.
Merchant fakes the three, steps in. He was bothered weak side by Kazantzis, and the rebound comes out to Gagnon, and now Baribeau has it with Strain on him. Kick out. Dreipolz takes the three. Good! The QB for three. And it's a 1-point game.
That'll change things in this game. If he's knocking that shot down, that changes a lot for this Killingly offense.
There's that high post where they didn't converge that time, but weak side Russell. I don't understand why they pinch. And Russell open for the three, knocks it down for the Wolverines.
Well, they're concerned about the short corner there. So you're going to give up something, you know, unless you have the length to kind of take away the vision. They're going to give up something. And right now, Suvanants got hot, so they decided to give up the perimeter shot.
Baribeau will have it go off of Griswold. I think that's actually a generous call, but Baribeau called Dreipolz out for a little pick and roll high screen and tried to split it himself, which I understand, but he kind of split it right into the heart of the Griswold defense. So they're going to figure that one out. And they're going to legal screen against Dreipolz, turns it over, back. So every time Killingly gets it to within one, they kind of give Griswold a little opening. Wolverines taking advantage.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling each other out, still sloppy. But there are some good gaps in the defense on both ends. If teams are just patient, use ball fakes, dribble penetration, strong with the ball. Right now you're seeing first reads. They're passing on their first read, and it's easy to pick it off.
Well, you mentioned sloppy. Coach Molesky wants it sloppy. That's what he said. I want to win. We win ugly. They want to get a lead, and they want to play crazy defense and wear you out. He says nothing makes him happier than in the fourth quarter when he sees the other team mentally and physically beat. Energy gone, and his kids still have it. Inside, outside, Russell no good. Baribeau with the rebound.
It's tempting to take those threes, but Griswold can get something better if they keep working the ball.
Baribeau draws the foul. He'll shoot two. Nice job of the crossover. They're going to call on the floor. All right, they're going to call it on the floor, inbound. So previously, when I thought it was on the floor, they gave him 2. This time they got, all right, so they, all comes out in the wash. Yanni, 10-footer, no good, a little strong. Nice positioning and rebound by Russell.
Move the ball, pass fakes, ball fakes.
Open look, Merchant for 3. No good. Kazantzis brings down the rebound. And if Griswold was making threes, they would be much farther ahead in this game. They'd miss some easy ones. Steal by Jacob Strain. Russell, open 3. Got it! Christian Russell's feeling it. And he's got Griswold back up 7.
Yeah, he's got a good-looking shot. And like you said, Casey, the looks are great. I mean, it's hard to argue. They're not shooting them from the college line, and they're shooting them in rhythm.
Merchant, basket is good, and the foul. The Merchant of Griswold will go to the line.
Beautiful defense here, jumping the passing lane, a little lazy on the bounce pass, and nice finish by Merchant. Puts the Wolverines up 9.
And a timeout on the floor. And with that timeout, we'll take a timeout. Brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Griswold fans turning out tonight. Now it's interesting because Coach Molesky before the game said, I'm actually concerned because about 1/5 of my school was on a trip, a chorus trip, down to Disney World, and that took with them sophomore guard Carmelo Curtis, the singing jump shooter.
He's going to Disney World.
And he was all excited because if they played on Tuesday, he could have delivered the line, but instead Mother Nature pushed it to Wednesday, and he had to go down on a trip. And that's a tough call, but the right call. He had to miss an ECC championship for the chorus trip down to Disney World. After seeing all the snow, I'd be on a plane to Florida too.
And the girls team is in the state tournament first round tonight, Casey. They're at Cromwell.
So he said, I don't know if we have anybody left, but the Griswold fans have turned out. Big crowd here from Griswold as Merchant knocks down the free throw to give them the biggest lead of the game, 10.
There's some switching of the defenses here, full court man.
Barabo pushes Strain. Zips it, and I think Christian Russell took it off his face. It's all right, play on.
Yeah, just great help side. They're really playing off dry balls. Souvenance playing far off dry balls to help on Barabo, and then secondary help came and took away dry balls. So good defense so far from the Wolverines.
Mills will inbound, looking for Drybolts, has him. Nice move by Thomas Drybolts with a lateral step to the left.
And he and Johnny Kazantzis are going to have to keep scoring because they're going to make life hard for Barabo.
Killingly's got to recognize that Russell is out of the game and see if they can make headway with these shooters. Here comes Kazantzis the other direction. Barabo back to Kazantzis, drives baseline. Good hands. Good hands. Griswold is doing such a great job. They get into every passing lane, hands up all time.
Well, they're really good at taking away your first read, so you got to use ball fakes. You throw a pass fake in right there, you get the guy in the air, and throw a bounce pass right underneath. You got to use pass fakes, ball fakes.
I think the modern game of basketball at the high school level, the ball is on the floor too much, whether it's dribbling or the passes. As Kazantzis gets his own rebound, no good. and it'll be out of bounds. Stay here. I feel like way too much dribbling and too much passing in the air. It's kind of like the opposite. Pass it through the air instead of dribbling, and then use the floor, in traffic. And I don't think enough people do that. Baribeau from the elbow knocks it down. That's a nice catch and shoot from Yanni Baribeau.
Yeah, Griswold plays that zone baseline out of bounds defense, and there's been a lot of gaps in that, so might have to look at the drawing board there and how they're guarding those baseline out of bounds sets.
Souvenance isn't in the game, so Killingly's got to, not worry about the baseline quite as much, and instead make sure they get Russell on the weak side.
You can still get touches down there. You can get nice low-high touches, or there it is, right on cue.
Nicely done. The brothers Strain.
I always like to use that short corner as a passer.
Kazantzis draws the foul on the wild spin, and he'll shoot two.
You don't always have to use that short corner as a guy who's going to score it. That guy who catches it on the baseline, he sees everything in front of him. So
you're 100% right, Juice, that and Griswold's really good at it. So the Strains, while they might not be huge threats to score both from the high post or from down there on the baseline, they're excellent distributors from there, and they make the right read. So we've seen great kicks and we've seen great cuts off of those passes.
Yeah, beautiful zone offense, and more substitutions right on cue. Coach Molesky has a strong 8 players that'll continue to rotate throughout this game.
Yeah, the green wave is coming at you. You got Rubino back into the ball game. Excuse me, Matson back into the ball game. Russell picks up the dribble, and Killingly extending out a little bit now. Strain. Oh, what a nice move by Lucas Strain, and high for the finger roll.
Yeah, beautiful recognition, Casey. As you said, when they extend, that's more like a man-to-man. There's gaps.
Baribeau ends up going off, and it's going to be Griswold basketball. I got to say, not only was I impressed with Lucas Strain's strong take, he got up and scored right at the rim. That length, very apparent.
Yeah, and the leadership, the experience.
Baribeau looking to push 4-on-1, and no call, no turn, nothing there.
Baribeau's working so hard, looks tired.
A great look to Souvenance, down low from Strain, lead back to 10.
Griswold wearing Killingly down right now. Remember the extra length of this court could be a factor. Doesn't look to be as much of a factor for Griswold as it is for Killingly right now.
And, Griswold doesn't have to worry about foul trouble. They just rotate guys in. They don't have to worry about fatigue. They just rotate guys in. And, when you bring in Kincaid, Rubino, and Tommy Matson, they're 5'9" and 5'10". They're like gnats, right? They just play absolutely irritant basketball.
There's that 2-3 zone again.
Good look to Baribeau underneath. Basket is good, and the foul. Lucas Strain says, I didn't touch him. I didn't touch him.
Yeah, that was too easy, Casey. They just little cross screen, Baribeau seals. Look at that, easy.
Now here's what I want to know. Have we ever seen a replay or a thing when the kid gets the foul and he looks and goes, yeah, I really hacked him. Good call. It's always, I didn't touch him. What, me? I want one time to go, yeah, I nailed him. I hit him right on the arm.
Back to 7.
Souvenance, the block by Thornton, but Souvenance will go to the line. We've seen Baribeau since he was a freshman. We've seen Souvenance since he was a freshman. Late to the game of basketball from a skill set, he grew late as well. And his basketball savvy has increased every year. You look at how that IQ he has around, some kids understand the dimensions around the rim. He's so good at using his body and the basket to get himself free. I just love how he works.
13 for Souvenance. Leading scorer, tied with Kazantzis right now.
you can't, these outlet passes for Killingley, they just don't see the Griswold players, and they're in those lanes. Incomplete pass between Drybolts and Baribeau.
Well, that's just terrific defense. Michael Strain, what Coach Curlin used to call the 55. When you play man-to-man on somebody and you don't turn your head to look at the ball, you just stare at that guy straight in the face. And Coach Molesky coached under Neal, Coach Jones later tonight. They still call it the same thing, 55.
We called it grill defense back in my day. Get in the guy's grill and stay there. Grill defense.
Love it. Important minute and 20 seconds here. Killingley get a bucket, try to stay within arm's length here.
Baribeau, quick trigger three, straight away is short. Souvenance will push the other way. Strain wisely pulls it back. Russell with the open three, got it! Christian Russell. The lead is 11.
That was a big turn of events. Missed three on one end, buried three on the other.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if Killingley doesn't get this thing to 6 by halftime, I think they're in trouble, and they're under a minute, so I don't think it's gonna happen. Because it doesn't get easier against Griswold in the second half, it gets harder. Thornton rejected by Souvenance.
The team defense has just been so impressive. Talked about it earlier in the game that, you know, that's a staple of this team. They've really bought into playing team defense here. Let's watch this 2-3 out of bounds, D.
Drybolts says foregoes, gets it back to him, spins, and he doesn't get the touch. And look at the high. Souvenance got up, but instead Thornton gets to Baribeau, splits the defense and scores. Yanni's like a freight train when he gets going straight ahead.
Yeah, the best looks that Killingley has been against the baseline defense. That might be something that Coach Mo might look at halftime. Can't do much against the man-to-man, but they're scoring against the zone.
Kick out, Russell, pump fake, lets it fly, no good. Yanni, weak side rebound. Bullet to Kazantzis, can he get there? He can, but who's there to save it? It's Strain. And he won't get it off at the buzzer. 9-point Griswold lead as we are at halftime. An opportunity for Killingley to get into that 9-point lead. They couldn't quite get there. And we're going to have George Hathaway with Griswold coach Rob Molesky. His team has a 9-point lead. George.
Coach, you guys have a 9-point lead here at halftime.
Which is nothing.
And
it's going to be a 9 down.
Exactly. I mean, nothing wrong with that. But what are you going to tell your guys in the locker room to kind of keep the momentum going and come out with the win here?
You know, keep playing. Keep playing. I think they're a little tougher right now. They loose balls. We refuse to step in and take a charge. You know, every one of the, you know, Kazantzis and Baribeau just coming down the gut, and we're just kind of letting them go. You know, we just got to get a little tougher.
Everybody knows you for your tenacious defense and how quick you guys are with your hands, but really the offense is working out really well.
Yeah, Christian Russell hit a few threes, and you know, with 39 points at halftime, that's pretty good. So yeah, you know, Juicy asked me, do you have to hit a few threes? I said yes, but I really want to score from the baseline with Jeff Souvenance, and so I'm gonna see if he can be a little more active.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach.
9-point lead. We're at halftime. Stay tuned for some video packages, including some of our features, the Philomena's features, and we'll be back. 9-point Griswold lead. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Being part of a great community is so important. People helping and supporting others can be very uplifting and contagious. At Philomena's Restaurant, that's exactly what you get. It's the community hub for not just Waterford, but all of southeastern Connecticut. Birthday parties, anniversary dinners, weddings, sports banquets, a drink with friends, and of course, charity events. Philomena's has been, is, and will always be there for the community. Celebrate and support southeastern Connecticut at Philomena's. Philomena's, Utopia Plaza in Waterford.
Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient Federal Credit Union. Open a high-yield My Size savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more.
I played baseball when I was younger, but my love for that kind of faded when I was done with middle school, so I just went to this. I'm better at this. I just like this. I love this.
6th grade, he came and played on my AAU team. He was about a half a foot taller than everybody else, and he dominated the first time we ever saw each other. He's just always loved the game, and as soon as the ball goes up at the jump, it's serious time for that kid. It's no fooling around. He loves to play hard.
Have you had to get creative in ways to get him the ball?
Yes, because double teams, heavy overplays in the backcourt, running guys at him, a lot of screens. We've put him at the point this year because, you know, if you want to pick him up in the backcourt, good luck to you because he'll go by you. His handle's pretty strong for a 6'3" kid.
Yeah, I get double teamed a lot, but lets my teammates score more. I get to pass to them. They're wide open every time. We score more like that anyway.
He really doesn't like it to be all about him. You know, like any guy who can, he likes to put a good hard dunk down, you know, and that's probably the end of it. I mean, an interview, it's your team. It's, let's tell us about Yanni Barbo. No, he wants to talk about Killing high school basketball and his cousins and Tommy and the rest of the starters because that's the best thing about him. He loves his teammates, and he just has so much fun playing.
Talk about the experience of your 1000th point. Not everybody gets to.
It felt really good to get it, and a lot more pressure off me now that I got it. I knew I was going to get it, I just didn't know when, but once it was passed, it was behind my head. Now we could really play.
And what kind of impact does he have?
Amazing. Not only did he bring his cousins along, but everybody who comes in the gym and wants to play at Killingley wants to play with Yanni Barbo. I mean, the excitement, the work ethic that he's spread throughout the program has made my job a lot easier.
At The Day, we pride ourselves on giving our readers the best coverage of local high school sports. Whether in-depth stories, photos and video, or columns, our dedicated reporters are on the sidelines covering it all, providing you with the stats, analysis, and commentary you've grown to know and trust. Subscribe today at theday.com to receive full access to all our coverage. Here for Griswold. You can see the faces. You're supposed to plow through anything, right? Well, anyway, no, we're not going now.
They're very grateful that they got to restart there. Music mistakes definitely can throw you for a loop. Great tumbling right there from a lot of the members on the squad. And headed right into some stunts. If you can tell, they don't have backs on the back of them. That was some of that clean cheerleading I was talking about. And some great jumps there, really impressive with that height. And another sequence displaying a lot of creativity for that.
Visually, that was really cool, you know, through the chute.
Showcases those tumblers, it's pretty fun. These visuals are really, really fantastic.
You know, similar, we saw Montville with great visuals. Griswold clearly doing their part as well.
And while their tumbling was going on, we had another single base partial pyramid in the back. Utilizing every second, some more jumps. Some more partner stunts with a fun entrance. Some twist downs at the end. Heading into part of their pyramid, which is a different style than what we've seen so far. displaying that flexibility in the pyramid.
Wolverines!
Here I am with Griswold High School girls. Great job out there. And it was very loud, because if you look behind me, you have a whole section here of your family, friends, whoever in the town. How much do they mean to you and their support?
I mean, they mean everything. We have one team mom, and she's done everything for this team. She went out and got t-shirts for everybody in that section. And I mean, that section means everything to us.
How do you guys feel about your routine out there? A little slow start, but you guys picked it up and persevered. How do you feel?
Honestly, I think we did a pretty good job. We had some setbacks, but we went back and we killed it after that, so yeah.
Speaking of setbacks throughout the season, I'm sure you guys have had some setbacks, but tell me, how did you push through those setbacks to kind of get here in this moment?
We all worked together and we figured out the reason why we're even here in the first place, the love of the sport, and we pushed each other to the next level.
Awesome. Congratulations once again, guys.
Being part of a great community is so important. People helping and supporting others can be very uplifting and contagious. At Philomena's Restaurant, that's exactly what you get. It's the community hub for not just Waterford, but all of southeastern Connecticut. Birthday parties, anniversary dinners, weddings, sports banquets, a drink with friends, and of course, charity events. Philomena's has been, is, and will always be there for the community. Celebrate and support southeastern Connecticut at Philomena's. Philomena's, Utopia Plaza in Waterford.
After the game, find us on social media at Game Day CT for our interview with the Foxwoods Player of the Game. And check out all the great entertainment coming this winter at Foxwoods. Go to foxwoods.com/entertainment. It's the Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all.
We're at halftime, 39-30. Griswold with a 9-point lead over Killingly in the Division II championship game. Let's take a look at how we got there. And, you know, that kid right there, Christian Russell, so many good looks. And Souvenance underneath. I mean, if I had to say the story of the first half, it's been those opportunities. Russell and Souvenance more than any others.
No, you see there in that last highlight, just Griswold just tenacious. I think more tenacious for the loose balls. They've out-hustled Killingly. That can't happen in a championship game. You might lose because the other team outscores you or, you know, has more talent than you, but you don't want to look at the film at the end of a championship game and say, we just got outworked on this play. We didn't get this loose ball. We didn't sprint down the court. And Killingly's got 16 more minutes to get it right here. But Griswold's been spotted a 9-point lead, and this is exactly where Coach Molesky likes to play from, because he could continue to use his bench and just those green waves, like you said, Casey, those waves of defense, keeping fresh legs, keeping pressure on the ball, and trying to keep it away from Yanni.
Well, we said that Griswold's going to need somebody to play like a star. I think Jeff Souvenance played like a star in the first half. Scoring, defense, rebounding. I think right now the consummate team has got guys stepping up. Killingly's going to need their guys to step up, match it. 9 points is a lot against a team like Griswold.
Killingly staying in the 2-3 zone. Drybolts has got to sag down a little bit and discourage that short corner pass. You got to get your hands up too. Make the zone look bigger than it is. Get those hands up.
Good hands. Killingly knocks it out of bounds.
What do we talk about all the time, Casey, in our broadcast? Vision. You know, zones that take length. Zones that take away vision with length. And you can disguise your length user by getting your arms stretched out as far as they can.
Merchant drives, hangs, kind of throws it up and gets it to go. Lead back to 11, not the start that Killingly would have liked. Sort of a little bit of a lucky bounce there for Merchant.
And you see the heavy help on Barabo left Killingly wide, left Mills wide open. He couldn't finish, but they get the offensive rebound.
And that tells you right there all you need to know. Killingly starting already in the second half. You got Drybolt's deferring. I gotta say, Thomas, when you get the ball in the paint, you gotta go up. I don't want you kicking it out to anybody anymore.
Griswold going man out of bounds here.
Barabo, step back three, no good. And look at Souvenance.
Well, that's the one thing. When Barabo shoots a three, you lose your best offensive rebounder. Killingly might have to think about extending some pressure. Not there, bad pass.
Oh, if the zone would be more active, that's a start. It has not been an active zone at all. It's been way too passive. Kazantzis pulls up and knocks it down in Souvenance's face. Basket is good, and we're going to get a foul on the floor. I think they're going to get Russell.
Yeah.
No, they're going to get Merchant. I think they meant Russell, and they're going to get Merchant instead.
So
Tom Cantone was nice enough to drop off some pretzels to us. I would have one right now, but then I'll get thirsty.
So Killingly another possession, chance to get a 4 or 5 point possession here.
Kazantzis tried to do a little bounce pass to Drybolts, but picked off. Nice move by Russell. Gets him in the air. Basket is good, and the foul. I think Christian Russell might have gotten away with an extra step, made the most of it though, and he'll go to the line.
14 for Russell, and this is called playing off 2 feet. John Beilein, the great coach at West Virginia, Michigan, big proponent of that. Coach Molesky using those drills, getting these guys to use their shot fakes.
And look at Souvenance just staying active, never giving up on a play. Barabo gets the tip. He's got Kazantzis 2-on-1. And if they don't get this possession to go down, and it's not just right there is a metaphor for this game.
Yeah, that's been the story of the game, Casey. Just the hustle, the level of hustle. Griswold wants to be a champion tonight, and Killingly is still trying to sort things out, it seems. Like a little confused, hands down on defense. It's now or never.
Merchant with a 3, no good, but there's Souvenance, stripped by Barabo. Kazantzis, Yanni, ahead, spin, nice move. Logan Gagnon gets the lead back to 9.
Not over yet, Killingly just got to chip away, get stops. On the other hand, Griswold does not need to force shots. They can take time, no shot clock, patience. Ball fake, shot fakes.
Drybolts took it away from Russell. Up ahead now, Mills. Little throw is up, almost went down, but now Griswold's got numbers coming the other way. Merchant, blocked by Drybolts, but Souvenance will get the rebound, and we're gonna get a foul on the floor.
Yeah, talking to Coach Molesky yesterday, like I said earlier, he needed Jeff Souvenance to establish himself early and get his confidence going, and it looks like his confidence is through the roof of the Mohegan Sun right now. He looks like the best player on the floor.
Rubino will inbound.
Killingly staying in the 2-3. This is where Griswold can't have any unforced errors like that.
Good hands. Kazantzis coming the other way, and now he loses it. Killingly not strong with the basketball. Other direction. Strain, can't get it to go. Drybolts is going to get fouled. They're going to call that one on Lucas Strain.
Yeah, missed opportunities on both ends. Killingly got the turnover, got the steal, turned it back over to Griswold, and they missed the layup. So, no harm, no foul.
Killingly needs a basket and a stop. Make this thing a little more interesting. Every time they, cut it down a little bit, they turn it over. Here comes Barabo, driving on Merchant. Draws contact, finds Drybolts.
You can see how he's going to be a great college player. I mean, he can make decisions. He uses his body.
Too easy the other way for Lucas Strain.
It's the Killingly defense that's the problem, Casey. I think Killingly could chip away here. They just can't get stops when they need to.
Part of the reason why Baribeau is going to be a good college player is he's got a college body. Not a lot of our kids come out of high school. Long three for Yanni, no good. A lot of our kids come out of high school, great talents, but the body's not there yet. He's already got a college-ready body. Merchant blocked by Baribeau. Zips ahead to Kazantzis. 5-on-5. The number 5 Kazantzis scores over the number 5 Rubino.
And he's going to be good too. I mean, once he develops that right hand to be as strong as his left, he's already got some length and some size. Just a sophomore.
Baribeau went straight up with Souvenance. Blocked it into Griswold's hand.
The volleyball, two-hand block.
And you're right about Kazantzis. We're going to get a timeout, Jim Crabtree. You're right about Kazantzis, too, as the body develops in the next year or two, and he starts playing downhill like Yanni does. He's going to be that kind of physical right there. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout. Brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
A happy group and Wolverine County right now. The Wolverine crew feeling it. Their team up 7 here midway through the third period. The crowd doing a little YMCA. And I have to admit, if you had told the Village people in 1975 that 50 years later, your song would still be turning the crowds loose in arenas everywhere, I don't know if the cop would have believed you, but I think the construction worker would have.
Great song, classic. Wolverines in man-to-man. A lot of help on Baribeau.
Baribeau drives, and that is there every time. Yanni going downhill. 5-point lead. Now they need a stop. Wolverines need a bucket. Nice look to Souvenance, but he decides to kick it back out. Strain, open three. Russell, short. Drybolts tips it. And Mills will bring it up. There's a stop.
No three-pointers yet for Griswold in the second half. That's been critical as we get a reach in here.
Yanni got popped. Strain playing tough D. Second foul on Strain. Well, you've seen Killingly start to rely on Yanni, and Kazantzis has been great. Is that where they'll go here?
Good job by Mills to get away from the pressure.
Drybolts just inside the three-point line, knocks it down. Closest they've been in a while. It's a one-possession game.
And let's see how Griswold deals with this adversity.
Good ball movement. Souvenance loses it. Can't get it. Oh, Russell. Weak side, no one there.
I love Russell's game, Casey. As I said before, he plays off 2 feet. That means every time he lands, comes to a stop, he's got 2 feet planted. He's not throwing off balance, one pass, 1 foot passes. He's always balanced.
That's a great look. Freshman Mills, the senior Baribeau.
Yanni's starting to step up here in this second half. They need him.
Kazantzis almost had the steal. Instead, Baribeau has the steal. 1-on-2. And we're going to get a foul call on Strain.
So a little point of emphasis here, Casey. We had a tire change at halftime. The first half, Yanni had on the Mambacitas, the Gigi Bryant sneakers, and now they were blue and white, and now he's got these black and yellow sneakers on. I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Oh, Drybolt's beautiful pass to Mills, but it doesn't go down. Sneaker changes. We've seen Tony Williams go through 3 pairs of sneakers in a game. That's a big 3 look. Knocks it down, Russell.
Love this kid's game. I mean, every time he shoots it, it's like he's winning the teddy bear at the fair. 19 for number 23.
Back to 6. Dump down. Drybolt's, that's easy, and that's a good offensive set for Killingly.
Tough one. Good catch.
Merchant in trouble. And a timeout, Rob Molesky. He does not like the out-of-sync nature of his offense. He also clearly doesn't like the hands that Killingly's employing right now, as this lead is down to 4.
Yeah, Killingly playing with a lot of confidence now. It's always the offense that fuels the defense. It's hard, but it's as long as I've been in this game, it's as true as anything else, that when you start to score, your defense has more bounce in its step. And you saw Killingly get some baskets, Yanni in transition with some step throughs. Drybolt hits a foul line jumper, and all of a sudden that defense is a little bit more active. Feet are moving a little quicker, hands are on more loose balls, and Griswold's getting a little tentative now. So we got a championship game here, Casey. Killingly righted the ship, and with 50 seconds left in the third, the Wolverines have the ball up 4.
You know, one of the things we talked about, great player, great team. If Killingly needs a basket, or if Killingly just needs to make something happen, you know where the ball's going. Now it's Griswold's turn. Where's the ball going? Right now, I'm getting it into the hands of Christian Russell, because every time he touches the ball, he's done something good with it.
Yeah, Russell and Suvanance, I think, are the guys that you want to touch it on offense. Strain brothers do a good job of moving the ball. Merchant's out there lingering on the 3-point line. I think Coach Mo would love to hold for 1. It's going to be hard, though. Killingly's going to extend, try to make him make some decisions. But I think if Coach Mo can get 1 here, he'd love it. Go into the 4th quarter, guaranteed up 4.
Now, of all the changes that the shot clock will bring next year, this is probably the biggest one. The end of quarters, teams trying to milk 45 seconds. Now you're not going to see that, but I think this is where the shot clock would have been interesting. Griswold will have a chance, at least, for the last shot. There goes Strain. Kicks out. Open look, Russell, pump fake, step back, and knocks it down. Christian Russell is money. And at the end of 3, the lead is back to 7. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient Federal Credit Union. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more. All that is good begins with a smile. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Contact us today. Visit us at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information.
We're back, about to start the 4th quarter. The ECC's Jim Bunicor has a presentation. Let's give it over to Bill Glennie.
At this time, I'd like to direct your attention to center court, where ECC Basketball Tournament Commissioner Jim Bunicor will present Mike Libera with an ECC pullover. Mike is the man behind the scenes, the event production manager of sports and entertainment here at Mohegan Sun Arena. Thank you, Mike, for all you do for the ECC.
We're about to start the fourth period. 7-point lead thanks to some savvy from Christian Russell at the end of the third period. I mean, Killingly's got the template. 22 points for Russell. Killingly's got the template here. They know what they need to do, but they have got to find stops on the other end, and those are becoming harder and harder to come by.
Yeah, I thought that they had actually turned the corner there, but Russell's just so good and so confident. Knew the clock, shot fake, got the shot off at the buzzer.
Baribeau, just more athletic than anybody else in that little scrum right there. He comes down with it.
Ball fakes, good ball fakes. That's the key. Yep, keep moving the ball. Killingly's got to keep their hands up. Killingly keeps their hands up, makes it harder to see.
Nice look to Merchant on the cut. Strain to Merchant.
But the one thing that Killingly has been doing well in the second half is getting the ball to Yanni more. And they just need to continue to do this. They set this little screen. Kazantzis curls off it, and they either got Johnny or Yanni coming off of it. I like this little two-man game they're running.
Kazantzis had a drive pulse, but he lost it. Up ahead now, it goes Merchant. Oh, look at the hands from Gagnon. Instead, lob to Souvenance. It's a little bit crazy. Russell's been money all night, but Merchant on the weak side gets the rebound. Now Strain with a long three. No good. Tipped out of bounds, and it'll be Killingly ball. But right now, Griswold working a little harder on the glass. And Yanni was in half court, leaking out. Again, he's getting kind of stuck. He has to stay there. His teammates need to come up with a rebound. That's a tough call for them.
They dodged a bullet, because if that Griswold three went, it would have been 10 and the crowd would have been going nuts. So only down 8, only down 7 rather. Beautiful backdoor.
Great hands though. Instead, Strain with the steal, and Merchant rather. Now Russell. Russell, Merchant, money.
Kid Christian Russell has been as good as I've seen a player play in a big game this season. I mean, he's just making the right decision every time. He's playing tough on defense. And no reaction, just poker face. He'd win a lot of money here at the casino tonight.
Well, we said stars are going to need to emerge for Griswold, and Christian Russell's played like a star tonight. Jeff Souvenance played like a star tonight. And Merchant and the Strains have been exactly what they've been all year. Just rock solid energy guys who have made it very difficult. And, you know, at some point here with 6 minutes remaining, Killingly's going to need a run. Not just getting it to 3. They're going to need to make a run, and it's getting tougher and tougher. Of course, this is game 1. 8 o'clock tip tonight. The number 1 St. Bernard Saints, possibly Mark Jones's finest group, taking on the number 2 New London High School Whalers in what for many years was dubbed the Whaler Invitational, as they won more of these than anybody. It's been lean the past few years for the Whalers, but if anyone thinks that there's not another championship in the green and gold, then you haven't been paying attention. So tonight, 8 o'clock, that should be a lot of fun. The Saints have been the best team in the ECC all year long. They've got state championships on their minds. Tonight, though, it's ECC championships and the Whalers. Mills picks his dribble up in a tough spot. Gets the lob to Baribeau. And Yanni, in that situation, I don't want you passing the ball. Right, there you go. Go up, get the hoop.
I haven't seen Griswold stop Yanni when he's caught the ball inside the arc all half. So that's the game plan for Killingly.
Rubino. Russell's not in the game right now, so let's see if Killingly's aware of that. There's not going to be the wing shooter normally. It's going to be Souvenance underneath. He got Baribeau in the air, and then he stole it from Drybolts. Who's the foul going to be on? Foul's going to be on Souvenance, hitting Drybolts. They're both number 22, so when he gave me a 22, I really didn't know which way he was going with it.
Yanni with 21 now to match his jersey number. And Griswold's really going to have to start to lock him down and make somebody else beat him.
Kazantzis, Drypolz, we're going to get a foul on Souvenance as well. Drypolz sealed him. Now Souvenance and Russell both out of the game. Killingly's got to, I think this might be defense only. Killingly's got to recognize.
Yeah, this is how Griswold's played all season. Keep those legs fresh.
Kazantzis draws the foul and he'll shoot two. So the offense right now, the three strains, Merchant and Rubino, the offense right now isn't really there. So you're going to see Russell come back in the game. Because off these free throws, Griswold needs somebody who can score. This is a good defensive unit on the floor right now, but they're going to need that. Kazantzis at the line, and this is now where you can't miss any free throws moving forward if you're Killingly. You got to find a way to get those free points. And as we head down the stretch, it'll be interesting to see what Griswold does, because you've got some interesting numbers on the Griswold free throw shooting.
Yeah, we'll see if that comes into play. Right now, you know, Killingly scratching and clawing, and they've played so much better this half and got it down to 5. They're actually leading this half by 4 points. They were down at 9 at halftime.
Russell, they double team him. Back up top to Strain.
Killingly extending that zone a little bit now.
Jacob Strain. Foul be on Barabo.
Baseline out of bounds for the Wolverines. Killingly staying in the 2-3 zone. They've stayed in it all game long.
Good hands by Drypolz, but comes down to Russell. Picks his dribble up, kicks to Merchant. Stripped, Mills, Kazantzis ahead of the pack. Drives, no good, but Yanni Barabo is there for the follow. Timeout, Rob Molesky. The lead is 3. We have a timeout on the floor. 3-point Griswold lead as Barabo finishes. This timeout is brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
3-point lead for Griswold, but if you're Killingly, it's Yanni and Johnny and a side of feta. The two Greek lads have 42 of the 54 points for Killingly right now, and that's better. That's your recipe right there. Maybe a little olives on the side, but right now, Killingly, the recipe's clear. Get it into the hands of Yanni or Johnny. On the other side, talk a little bit about the free throw shooting for Griswold, particularly 3 of their mainstays on offense struggling from the line.
Yeah, the Strain brothers do not shoot the free throw well, so we'll watch for that. But right now, I think, you know, Griswold can't turn the ball over. They're self-inflicted wounds a lot of these possessions. They just got to keep moving the ball and do what they've been doing all game long. Every time they turn it over, Killingly is now finding a way to cash in those turnovers, which they weren't able to do in the first half. So Griswold's got to take care of the ball a lot better and get good shots.
Let's see what Coach Molesky has out of the timeout. Behind the back, Russell for 3, no good. Souvenance finds Strain. Jeff Souvenance, every time Griswold has needed something, he's been there.
Face guarding Yanni. Yanni can't let himself get face guarded. He's got to want the ball. Look at this teamwork or sportsmanship.
Strain, yep, Yanni tripped over him. Strain picked him up. Now they're going to go one-on-one. Yanni drives, kicks into the corner. Kazantzis for 3. Yes, sir! Three ball for Johnny K.
Another deep three for Johnny. We have ourselves a championship game.
Oh, the reach by Mills was there. Strain comes out with it behind the back. Merchant, little jump shot, baseline, no good. Drybolts rips down the rebound, and he's fouled. Buckle up, folks. We got ourselves a ball game.
And he will go to the line to try and tie this one up, Casey. Can you believe it? 3:17 left to go, and we can be tied. This is what we wanted for our first championship game tonight. And a good crowd here.
Drybolts gets the friendly roll. Such a good athlete. Got really nice touch for a guy who's big like that. Plays like a quarterback. Second one is up. No good. Look at Kazantzis, though. Yanni for three. No good. Weak side rebound. That would have brought the house down for Killingly, but they're within one. Strain. Souvenance. Oh, he's so good around the basket.
15 for Souvenance now, Casey.
Yanni hooks up the dribble, back to Kazantzis.
Scouting report says force him right. Killingly just has to settle. Get the ball to Yanni. You got plenty of time.
2.5 minutes. Kazantzis drives, no call. Coming the other way now, numbers.
Patience, patience. Good decision.
Weak side, Merchant. No good. Souvenance. No good.
No foul here.
Weak side, there's Souvenance again. The French word for opportunistic, Souvenance.
Killingly's got to find a way to get Yanni the ball. Only a 5-point game. They already crawled back from 9. Plenty of time left, but you got to get Yanni the ball.
Well, he's got to come demand it. Steal, and Souvenance gives it right back. He punts to Kazantzis.
Now you can get him the ball. Got numbers.
Kick out. Drybolts for three. Strong. Merchant up high for the rebound, and he's fouled.
Now it becomes a situation where Killingly has to start fouling quickly because they only have 14 fouls, Casey. Big rebound here, Merchant skying high for it. And a full timeout on the floor.
Well, this might be our last chance, so we'll take one more timeout. Brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Every time Killingly has made a run, gotten to as close as one, Griswold and their senior leadership has kept them at arm's length. What is Coach Rob Molesky saying to his Wolverines right now with 1:30 remaining in a 5-point lead? They've got the basketball. You know they're going to try to take some air out of it. Killingly's going to have to foul.
Well, right now you got to be strong with the ball, Casey, because Killingly's got fouls to give, so they can be aggressive, try for a steal. Griswold can't convince themselves that the referee is naturally going to blow the whistle. They might not. They might let a slap go. So you have to be extra strong with the ball as it looks like Killenly is going to go man-to-man for the first time tonight.
Strain, drives, drive holds, weak side, no foul.
Gotta get Yanni. Gotta get the ball to Yanni.
Kazantzis has it. A minute remaining. Yanni now with the ball. No foul.
Oh, that's a great call. Yanni was standing out of bounds and it hit him before it hit the floor. Great call by Anthony Malhoy. Killenly's got to think about fouling here, though. They got fouls to give. They got to give one right now. Got to give one right now.
Not enough. Running out of time here. 45 seconds remaining. They went for the steal. They didn't get it.
Got to give. Got to get. Ooh, timeout. Griswold.
With 42 seconds remaining in the game, though, you still now have the fouls to give becomes problematic. You got to foul 3 more times or 2 more times before you get them to the line.
Yeah, I would have wasted my fouls, 2 fouls real quick, get to 6, and then use your pressure defense. And that way, if they call the foul on a hard try for a steal, at least they're going to the line. Now, Griswold can use their speed to run clock, and you still have to foul 3 more times before they go to the 1-and-1.
Well, the crowd filtered in for this one. Hopefully they're sticking around and more for the nightcap, because this one has been everything as advertised, and tonight New London and St. Bernard's we hope is the same. Right now Griswold 42 seconds away from a Division II championship here in the ECC. 5 seniors on the floor right now for Griswold.
Out of bounds play here. Rob Molesky drawing up the sideline out of bounds against the man. Let's see what happens here. Christian Russell taking it out.
He goes long into the backcourt. I love that play, because now you're way time.
Got to foul Colby.
They're not fouling him. We're down to 30 seconds.
Got to foul Colby. There we go. So that's a good one. Goodwin gives the foul there.
They got to foul again. They're only at 5. They got to foul 2 more times. They got to grab. Right now, they should be holding on the inbounds.
18 seconds came off the clock there, Casey. That's
I'd be grabbing right now. I'd be grabbing on the inbounds right now.
Oh, there's a beautiful cut to the basket. Good decision. Foul right now, John. There you go. That's similar, Casey, to what the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl. When he had the touchdown, he could have went right in, and he slid down at the 1-yard line. Great decision by the Wolverines to not try the layup, dribble it back out, take a couple more seconds off the clock.
Problem is that they need a minimum of 2 possessions, Killenly does, to even have a chance, and that's with a missed free throw.
Yep.
They got to get some. I'd be holding the strains right now.
Foul.
And I wouldn't want to foul Russell. Get it out of his hands and get it into one of the other guys' hands.
So Russell will go to the line, shoot 1-and-1. He's sitting on 22 points. Yanni has the game high at 23.
He's done everything else tonight, has Christian Russell. Fitting that he's at the line with a chance to sort of ice it here. 17 seconds left, 2 free throws would be a long way, and they're chanting MVP. The Griswold fans know what they've seen tonight. That young man, ironically wearing 23, playing like a champion here in this Division II final.
And 23 points. His shot is something to look at. It's perfect stroke here, perfect form.
Russell.
They'll sub him out and apply some full court pressure. So Coach Mo not backing off, continuing to make Killenly think here.
Oh, they're going to use time. He wants clock. Kazantzis, long straightaway 3, no good. Rebound, Merchant. And we're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow will favor Griswold. 9 seconds remaining for the Wolverines.
Is Russell back in here? Coach Mo's gonna ride it out with 5 he's got.
Strain running the clock out. Killingly will elect to not foul. As the clock strikes 000, the senior-laden Griswold Wolverines are your Division II champions. Congratulations, Rob Molesky. You were the #1 team all year long in Division III, the #1 seed in Division II, and you are the champions.
Yeah, they were the best team all year long in Division III and IV and in this Division II tournament. They played like a team all year long. Killingly gave a great effort in the second half. I think when they look back, they'll wonder if they could have got Yanni the ball a little bit more in the last 3 minutes, but Griswold really dedicated their defense to not letting him get any more points after he got his 23rd point. And a couple great scrappy plays down the stretch by the Wolverines, getting some putbacks, Jordan Subinance getting a putback, getting a rebound and passing it inside for an easy 2-point layup, and then Christian Russell nailing those free throws with the 1-and-1 situation, iced it. Well-deserved, Coach Mo. He built a great program up at the Woodstock Academy, came down to his hometown of Griswold to coach his team, to coach his sons, and they've had some good seasons, but I think this one is the best that he's had since he's been the coach of the Wolverines.
Well, if you need a championship and you're playing in the green and white, why not rely on a Russell? Christian Russell really stepped up tonight. We said Subinance was amazing, but Merchant, the Strains, all of these guys, Rubino, and Matson's a senior. So, you know, Griswold played 8 tonight. 7 of the 8 are seniors. I mean, they relied on that leadership all year long. They are the champions. 23 for Yanni, 22 for Kazantzis, but Russell with 24 led all scorers and really capped the championship. Let's find out your all-tournament team and your tournament MVP. I think we know who that is going to be.
Representing Killingly, number 5, Johnny Kazantzis. From Killingly, Yanni Barabo. From Griswold, Jeff Subinance. From Griswold, Jacob Strain. And your 2023 ECC Boys Basketball Division II Tournament Most Outstanding Player, Christian Russell.
Kazantzis and Barabo for Killingly. Jacob Strain, Lucas Strain. Jeff Subinance, and your MVP, Christian Russell. The presentation of the trophy to Rob Molesky and the Griswold Wolverines to follow. Congratulations. I love the smiles. You know, now that you've won, you can smile.
This time, I'd like to welcome Griswold head coach Rob Molesky to center court to accept the ECC championship plaque from Commissioner Jim Newport. Congratulations, Griswold, on your tournament championship.
You know, a guy, Casey, that's been coaching a long time, an assistant under Neil Curlin when Neil first got the job at NFA in the late 90s. Coached the JV team there at NFA for a few seasons before getting his first head coaching job up at Woodstock, and then made the move to his hometown of Griswold when legendary Gary Cannell retired from the Wolverines. Watched the team that he built at the Woodstock Academy win a improbable state championship with kids that he coached when they were little boys in the youth leagues, in the youth clinics. But he stuck it out with this Wolverine team. He brought his philosophy, which is tough-nosed, man-to-man defense, a team mentality, unselfishness, and, you know, when you stay in it long enough, you know who the good guys are in coaching, and this is one of the true good men, a teacher in the Norwich Public Schools, elementary school PE teacher, does it for the kids.
Well, tonight's first game was two great guys, Jimmy Crabtree and Rob Molesky. But when I talk and we talk about the great coaches in the conference, it's easy to forget about Rob Molesky. You know, you're up in the corner up there, Griswold, before that Woodstock. But he is one of the great coaches. And we talked in the beginning of the year, you know, who's going to have a career coaching. You know, I'm hoping Rob is here for a lot longer with us because I think there's a lot of wins left in him. His style never goes out of style. And this team embraced it. They've been playing together since they were little kids. And we're going to find out how he feels about it. George Hathaway has Coach Rob Molesky.
Well, Coach, it was a very close game, you know, second half. What did you tell your guys to persevere, keep pushing through to get the win?
Poise. Poise. I said it early on in the year. If we play with poise, we got some pieces. You know, they made a run right there, and it's a senior group. They played with poise. You know, and he kind of led us poise-wise. He hit a three, you know, ball fake, step aside, hit a three, stuff like that. And we played with a lot of poise. I'm proud of how we play with poise. I must have said that like 8 times right there.
You sure did, but poise. I mean, you guys played phenomenal tonight, and coming back to your hometown team in Griswold and win a championship, take me through your emotions right now.
Well, it's something that we've been building for us, you know, since these guys are freshmen, really. When they came in as freshmen, there was no sophomores on the team, and there was one junior. So these guys have been building to this for, you know, pretty much 4 years. So, you know, 3 years anyway. They all played varsity. This guy I can't say enough about. A year and a half ago, he's like, Coach, I'm not feeling it. I wasn't happy. You know, he was playing like a JV guy. And then from that conversation we had in the hallway at Griswold Middle School, he's turned it on since that moment. I'm not taking credit for it, but he just said, I'm going to be a better player. And, you know, here he is. He's, you know, most valuable player, can shoot it, and he's worked hard at it, and I'm very proud of him.
Well, congratulations, Coach. I have a few questions for the tournament MVP and our player of the game, Christian Russell. 24 points today on the big, bright stage here at Mohegan Sun, and you played phenomenal. You had so many open looks today. I mean, take me through some of your thoughts. Every time you touched the ball, what was going on in your mind?
I just knew when to see my hands, it's going in. My teammates found me. They did what they needed to do. We found the open man.
They sure did. And that confidence is so important. And when you were at the line shooting those free throws towards the end of the game, you heard your friends, everybody here chanting MVP. Did you hear any of that? And how did you feel?
Yeah, I heard it. It feels good, but put a lot of pressure on me with those last free throws.
You strive under pressure, and is that a big part to your game now, being a senior here?
Yeah, I think so, because they need somebody to step up. And if I can be that guy, then it just feels good.
Well, Christian Russell, 24 points, you are him. And congratulations, winning the ECC Division II champions, and of course winning MVP as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Well, let's take a look at Griswold's road to a Division II championship. The chant of MVP for Christian Russell continues, and you're going to see a lot of him in this. Killingley never really went away, though, and Yanni Barabo showed why he is such a great player. But at the end, you know, as much as Killingley just kept pushing and getting closer and closer, Christian Russell, every chance he got.
Yeah, he hit a big three here at the end of the third quarter, and I think that, you know, let Griswold take a sigh of relief because Killingley was coming. They were starting to get on that runaway train that once it gets off the rails, you can't stop it. And I think Killingly will lament not getting the ball at Barabo late in the game, but you got to give credit to the Wolverines. It's not like they weren't trying to. The Wolverines stepped up their defense late in the game and didn't allow Yanni to continue his hot play in the second half. They were the better team, 1 through 15, and it showed tonight as they were able to finish the job and get Coach Rob Molesky his first ECC tournament championship.
Well, good guys sometimes finish first, and tonight, no matter who won this game, a good guy was going to be in charge of that team. And I feel great for Rob Molesky, as do you, and I think there's a lot more wins to come. But in a year where we've seen freshmen and sophomores dominate the landscape, it was 5 seniors and 7 out of 8 seniors that won the Division II championship. Up next, 8 o'clock tip. We're not going to see as many seniors. You're going to see a few. St. Bernard's has got 3 good ones, but you're going to see sophomores and freshmen and talent galore. The New London High School Whalers and the St. Bernard Saints coming up in about 25 minutes. So for the Division II Griswold Wolverines on to the Division I championship. Come on back in 25. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Sportsmanship Award winners, please make your way to Section 17 with approximately 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. Thank you and enjoy tonight's game.
The following is a presentation of The Day.
Star power, senior leadership, precocious youth, winning coaches, storied schools. This game has it all. This iconic rivalry now plays out under the bright lights and on the big stage. St. Bernard and New London. St. Bernard is simply the best. Undefeated in conference, ranked in the state, and battle-tested. Seniors Cedric Semillian, Tyson Wheeler, and Ryan Outlaw are the consummate leaders. Amir Gray and Amari Marshall, the super sophomores, in a perfectly blended five that is perhaps Mark Jones's finest team. Their semifinal slugfest win over Wyndham proved once again it will take a special team to beat the Saints. New London is, well, New London. They have won this tournament more than any other and are loaded with talent, young talent. Sophomores Devin Williams, Savon Warren, and Boo Boo Phillips play like veterans, and freshman Xavier Good has gotten better all year. Richard Taylor's semifinal block party against a gritty Fitch team showed the league how good the Whalers can be when they execute. Coach Craig Parker has over 500 wins and knows better than anyone what it takes to win on the biggest stage. Let's go. It's time to run at the sun. It's the ECC Boys Basketball Division I battle between the Saints and the Whalers, and it's all live on game day on theday.com.
Let's go. 2 words says it all in regards to the Division I championship game here tonight at Mohegan Sun. The one I think everyone's been waiting for. New London and St. Bernard's, and it's all live on game day. Game day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that's good begins with a smile, and at Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you the personalized dental care you deserve. Contact us today. Visit us at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. Casey O'Neill along with Chris Giusti, and the first game we saw tonight we knew was going to be a good game, a close game. It lived up to the expectations. I think tonight we're hopeful that this game can also live up to the expectations. If the New London Whalers play their A game, this should be a lot of fun because St. Bernard's has simply turned away all challengers all year.
Yeah, in our last regular season broadcast, we looked into the crystal ball, and we both felt like this was the game that everyone wanted to see. They haven't played each other since February 3rd. They played in early January. They played in early February. The Saints overwhelmed the Whalers in both of those games. The Whalers were able to hang around for a little while, but the Saints have just been able to wear teams down in the ECC all season long. But this Whaler team has got a little bit different look to it and feel to it with the emergence of their big man, Richard Taylor, who played so terrifically on Saturday against Fitch. And if he can have that kind of game tonight, Casey, we could have a tight ball game.
And I think Mark Jones knows that. We'll talk a little bit about his thoughts. We've both talked to both coaches, and we'll get into that. But the third member of our team has some thoughts of his own. George Hathaway, what do you got?
Well, guys, they say good things come in threes. And we all know that St. Bernard's 2-0 against New London this season. But could New London turn things around here tonight on the brightest stage? Well, we'll have to see later on, because we all know New London has a rich history here in the ECC tournament. But St. Bernard's, they're a rising team that has been playing phenomenal all season long. But it's that late momentum that we've been seeing from New London. Their interior defense has been strong, but we'll have to see. Can St. Bernard's counter that with Tyson Wheeler in the outside three ball? Well, we'll have to see here tonight, guys.
Thank you, George. I still remember when Mikey Bassetto and Waterford won their big game, and Mikey Bassetto made the comment that, well, I guess we disrupted the Whaler Invitational. That's alluding to the fact that New London had been in this championship game some unbelievable amount, 10 out of 12 years. during the years of Dunn and then transitioning and Cream Brown. They just dominated this. St. Bernard has been the best team in Division II for a number of years, and they've won that Division II championship. Now they jump up not only to Division I, Division II of the CIAC, and they've got their sights on a state championship. They've played the big teams, the Northwest Catholics, the Windsors, the Ridgefields. They're poised. New London has played the Hill Houses right there. These two teams are the heavyweights, and this is a heavyweight game.
Yeah, as heavyweight a matchup as we have on our side of the state, the storied rivalry, as you alluded to in the open, and the Whalers haven't been here in a while, and so nobody on the roster knows what this championship game is like. They got a lot of young talent, and these are going to be guys that are going to be stars in this league for years to come. It'll be interesting to see how they play tonight under the bright lights at the Mohegan Sun.
Well, the first game featured seniors everywhere. This game features far more youth, 5 sophomores, multiple freshmen, but it might be the 3 seniors on St. Bernard's or Richard Taylor, the senior for New London, that really steps up tonight. But if we're going to step up, we got to turn it over to Bill Glennie, the voice of the ECC.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mohegan Sun Arena for the 2023 ECC Division I Boys Basketball Tournament Championship Game. Game number 2 features the number 2 seeded New London Whalers and the number 1 seeded Saints of St. Bernard's. Before we meet tonight's starting lineups, I'd like to address your attention to the big board as we meet the players in tonight's game, brought to you by Game Day and The Day.
Zuri Craig, KB Skills Academy. Deshaun Phillips, KB Skills Academy.
Devin Williams, KB Skills Academy.
Savon Warren, St. Augustine's.
Xavier Good, KB Skills Academy.
Marvin Flejean, Zoe Academy. Ryan Keefe, Nathan Hale Elementary. Jamel Hayslip, KB Skills Academy.
Caleb McCalla, Belly Fam Academy.
Calvin Sebastian, KB Skills Academy.
Joshua Exon, KB Skills Academy.
Richard Taylor, KB Skills Academy.
Cedric Samillion, The Trench City School.
Shem Adams, Family Elementary.
Tygusian, The St. James School.
Amir Gray, Garfield Elementary.
Colin O'Leary, SB Butler Elementary.
Justin Allo, Where's the Funk Elementary.
Tyson Wheeler, AA Ron Elementary.
Alex Johnson, Wyndham Tech Elementary.
Jack Philstein, RMS Elementary. Ryan Olo, AFRO Academy. Zane Baton, Shaman Central School.
Anthony DeMarco, The St. James School.
Amari Marshall, RMS Elementary.
Jacob Widener, DHW Elementary School.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our contenders. First, we begin with the number 2 seed from New London. Wins over East Lyman Fitch propelled them to the sun, wearing their Whaler green with gold and white trim. 18-4 on the year and led by head coach Craig Parker. Put your hands together, Whaler Nation. Here's your starting 5. Starting at guard, a 6-foot sophomore, number 1, Deshaun Phillips. Starting at guard, a 6-foot sophomore, number 2, Devon Williams. Starting at guard, a 6'2" sophomore, number 4, Savon Warren. Starting at guard, a 5'11" freshman, number 5, Xavier Good. And starting at center, a 6'5", a senior, number 33, Richard Taylor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this leads us to the number 1 seed in St. Bernard. Knocking off Waterford and Wyndham, punched their ticket to Mohegan. Currently 19-3 on the season, wearing their white jerseys with red trim, coached by Mr. Mark Jones. Make some noise, Saints fans. Here's your starting five. Starting at guard, a 6-foot senior, number 1, Cedric Semilian. Starting at guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 4, Amir Gray. Starting at guard, a 5'8" senior, number 12, Tyson Wheeler. Starting at center, a 6'3" senior, number 15, Ryan Outlow. And starting at forward, a 6'6" sophomore, number 24, Amari Marshall. Your officials today, Mr. Dave Cruz, Mr. Tim Viveris, and Mr. Merrick Drabinski. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem is being performed by St. Bernard student Marguerite Brady.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, or so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous nights o'er the ramparts we watched at so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good job to Marguerite Brady, and now it's time for some freshly squeezed juice. To the game brought to you by the Holy Club, the premier indoor golf facility and lounge in southeastern Connecticut, 161 Water Street, downtown Norwich. Juice, what do you got?
Casey for New London, don't settle. Open threes are tempting, but make St. B's defend longer by attacking the middle and moving the ball. Clean the glass, get extra shots by outworking the Saints for offensive rebounds, and transition quickly. St. B's likes to run. Sprint back on D and make the Saints play in the half court. For St. Bernard's, box the bigs. Taylor, Warren, and company get their hands on a lot of rebounds. Make sure you are connected when a shot goes up. No penny slots. Can't take cheap fouls. No silly reach-ins or fouling jump shooters. And lock up Dev. Deny Williams and make the other Whalers take the shots.
Now, so much to talk about in this game. It's so hard to beat a team 3 times. We just saw Griswold do it to Killingly. In order for the Saints to win this Division I title, they're going to have to beat this New London team for a 3rd time. The biggest difference, New London got within 8 in their 2nd meeting. Boo Boo Phillips was not available in that game, and Richard Taylor was not the Richard Taylor that he has been down the stretch. If those 2 factors in, we could get ourselves a dandy as Marshall wins the tip. It goes into the hands of Devin Williams, and right off the bat, Ryan Outlaw is going to draw a foul here for the Saints. Mark Jones prides himself on that man-to-man defense. This Saints team has the defenders to match up with New London, which very few teams do Talk a little bit about Mark Jones' style of man-to-man.
Yeah, he's going to make the other guys beat you, not let the primary scorer get open looks. And once again, it's Cedric Semillian, who we've talked about in previous broadcasts, drawing Devin Williams, guarding him man-to-man with no help on any other players.
Williams to Good. Back to Williams. He's on Gray this time. Pulls up. Gray got a piece of it. And you see Outlaw. Beautiful box out on Taylor. Taylor, very athletic. Did a great job against Fitch going up and getting rebounds. But you know Outlaw is going to have that man body on him at all times.
Yeah, that's a point of emphasis from Coach Jones tonight. Connect with Taylor on every shot.
Semillian with a floater. No good. Tipped. And out of bounds, it'll go back to the Whalers.
Yeah, and New London showing a 2-2-1 full court press there to kind of give St. Bernard's a look that speeds them up, and it worked.
One of the matchups that I love right here for New London is Savon Warren and Amari Marshall. Let's see if Warren can take Marshall off the dribble. New London's looking for mismatches any chance they can. Here's Good, drives. No good, and there's a tip. Also no good, back to Semillian. So New London already getting to the basket, but you're gonna see they're gonna try to get that mismatch whenever they can. Wheeler for three, good! Tice jumping right out with a triple.
Deep. If he's feeling that tonight, that helps the St. Bernard offense get going quickly. I like that New London hasn't settled yet, though.
Wheeler did not play great in the last few games for St. Bernard's, but when the lights are the brightest, much like his pops, he comes to play. The Marshall plan in effect as Warren gets it blocked out of bounds.
Yeah, and Coach Jones felt that Amari and Savon kind of cancel each other out. So if Amari's doing what he's supposed to do, he can neutralize Savon.
Good look back to Williams for three. And D. Will knocks down the triple. That's a great job with a little give back to Williams.
Great out of bounds play to screen Semillian.
Quick hands and a turnover ahead. Williams finishes. The Whalers pressuring St. Bernard, something that not a lot of teams have had success with this year.
2-2-1.
Good, a step late. Wheeler, he'll pull up for three. No good long. And Williams comes out of the pack now for the Whalers. Up ahead to Good. He challenges Gray. No good. Taylor. And Gray comes out of the pack. This is going to be a feverish game. Williams with the steal. He's got Warren. Drives. And it's going to be off St. Bernard's. This frenetic pace is something that St. Bernard's typically thrives. They eat pace. And they have left many teams in their dust.
Good transition defense, though, so far from the Whalers. Not giving up layups. Saints usually get a lot of layups in transition.
Wheeler with a good hand, steps in, picks off the pass. Finds Semillian. A little pull-up in Taylor's face, no good. And Warren, weak side with the rebound. One advantage New London has, as you see Semillian with the steal. And right back, that's a good no call. He went into Warren. When Warren rebounds, he can pull up and run. Williams no good on the three, but Boo Boo Phillips has it. Turns, spins, knocks it down in Gray's face.
Offensive rebounds. No box out there that time from St. Bernard, and New London gets a board and a two-point play.
Marshall, he'll walk. You know, if you look at New London this year, they lost to Hill House, a top 10 team in the state. They lost to Wyndham, the defending state champions. And that game was without Boo Boo Phillips as well. Their other two losses were to St. Bernard's. Conversely, St. Bernard's has lost to Northwest Catholic, Ridgefield, heavy hitters in Division I, and out of state. Neither of these teams have a bad loss on their resume. They have won all the games they're supposed to win.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the ceiling is a little bit higher for New London in terms of their ability to get better still. There are some young players on St. Bernard's that are going to continue to get better, but New London has a lot of young players who can just keep getting better and better every game.
Amir Gray with a floater, no good, gets his own rebound, finds Outlaw to a cutting Marshall. No good, he was harassed by Taylor. Williams, bounce pass, left hand is good. Whalers running out to a 6-point lead.
This pressure is really bothering St. Bernard, but a nice jump shot from the senior, and he's been playing great, Casey. Ryan Outlaw really coming into his own here, his senior season. That mid-range jump shot, he's really perfected that this year, and that makes him dangerous.
Added wrinkle to his game, absolutely. And the calming presence of Outlaw hitting that jump shot to stop the New London run.
And he neutralizes all those high ball screens with his hedging defense.
Good, can't get it to go. Outlaw with a strong rebound. I'll have a funny story about Ryan Outlaw in a moment. Little reach by Good, kick out. Marshall steps into a jump shot, way too strong. Williams, up ahead it goes. Phillips, fouled by Marshall. I think if Phillips had caught it clean and Good wasn't running with him, he would have tried to throw that one down. Instead, he'll shoot two. Right there, they weren't talking, but once it went to Phillips, good job with the left hand. So I was showing my friend who's a Windsor guy highlights of the St. Bernard's Windsor game. And the first highlight after Similian does the nutmeg on the kid is Ryan Outlaw. And he pauses the video and goes, okay, so that's a man. And I said, yeah. I said, that's a man. And he goes, that's like a big boy body right there. And I'm like, yeah, he is. And I think he's really come into his own. People forget, new school, new teammates. He has really emerged late for them. Both of these teams have aspirations beyond this game.
The difference in this game so far, Casey, has been New London has gotten to the basket. St. Bernard has settled for jump shots. Something to watch.
St.
Whalers in a 2-3 zone. Sorry, Casey.
No, go ahead.
2-3 zone here.
And I know you like when teams mix up defenses.
Love it.
Colin O'Leary into the game. He replaces Similian. No defense lost there. O'Leary, one of their best defenders. A little of the offense taken away. So will it be Gray? Will it be Wheeler? Where's the offense going to come from? How about Outlaw stepping into Taylor?
Playing off 2 feet. We saw it in the first game. Christian Russell dribbling into the lane, landing on two, getting your body squared, straight up and down on the jump shot. Beautiful execution.
O'Leary is their best off-ball defender. You will watch him chase Devin Williams around. 4 screens is what O'Leary just did.
And I would not use the ball screen here. Ryan is too good at guarding it. I like just the ISO.
Phillips hangs, floats, no good. Great rebound, Marshall. Now Wheeler, and that's that lazy defense we don't want to see from the Whalers. Instead, Wheeler finds Outlaw, high elevation, no good, and it'll stay with the Whalers. Devin Williams got caught there, that little pick play, and that's where St. Bernard's will kill you, because if you miss that steal, they will run in transition all the time.
Yeah, both teams will make you pay if you gamble. So you got to choose wisely when you're going to run, when you reach for a steal in the passing lane. St. Bernard staying in the man-to-man. Wheeler on Boo Boo.
Phillips goes to the left, pulls up, jump shot, and that's a big-time play for a sophomore. That's the old-school pull-up jump shot. You don't see a lot of it anymore, and he can get that over Wheeler.
Going to his left too, Casey. That Wheeler played the scouting report perfectly. That was just good execution by Boo Boo.
Tyson's become a very good on-ball defender. He's really been working hard at it, but Phillips can rise up over him and knock that shot down. Outlaw for 3, short. Taylor had the rebound but lost it to O'Leary, and he loses it on the line. Turnover to the Whalers. And we're going to see instant offense into the ball game for the Saints. Alex Johnson will check in. Wheeler will have a seat.
Again, no easy buckets, though, for the Saints. They're accustomed to getting a lot of easy baskets inside and settling for jump shots. The Whalers attacking the basket more often than the Saints are right now.
That's the best I've seen New London play offensively so far this year, attacking the basket on every play. Pull up by Good is good. Whalers firing on all cylinders right now, using the pull-up jump shot game.
St. Bernard's looking to the sideline. See if Coach Jones was going to call a timeout. They're out of sorts here, down 8. 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Whalers staying in this 2-3 zone.
Gray hangs in the air, finds Johnson. Long 3, in and out. Taylor tips it to Marshall. Back to Johnson. Another shot, no good. Amari Marshall blocked by Taylor. The Taylor block party continues. Williams running the other way. Left hand, no good. Look at Gray, sky. There's numbers. But there's Taylor and Gray, Marshall. And finally a foul as Outlaw just determined bowled his way to the basket.
The difference is, once again, Outlaw playing off 2 feet, using the pump fake here and drawing contact. Look at that easy one. Savon Warren across his arm. Easy one to call. The refs are letting him play a little bit, but if you are deliberate and play off 2 feet, you'll get the call.
Great officiating crew. Dave Cruz, Tim Viveris, Merrick Drabinski. Seeing this Division I championship game here in the ECC as Outlaw knocks the first one down. There's 5 seconds remaining in the game, so New London will have a chance at the last shot. Boo Boo Phillips pushing it up. Crosses over at the buzzer. Good if it goes, no good. We're at the end of 1, and it's a 6-point Whaler lead. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
The Holy Club, the premier indoor golf facility and lounge in southeastern Connecticut. Featuring Foresight Sports Simulator technology, you can test your game on the greatest courses in the world. Want to improve your swing? Schedule a lesson with their on-site PGA Pro. Want to host an event? The lounge offers the perfect setting to watch all the big games. Gift cards are available and make the perfect stocking stuffer for this holiday season. Don't wait. Stop by the Holy Club, 161 Water Street in downtown Norwich.
Amir Gray staring out from the cardboard cutout. He is, as we all know, ruthless. Right now, we're going to turn it over to Bill Glennie as ECC Commissioner Jim Bunicor has a special presentation.
Mike Mazzulli, the director of Mohegan Tribe's Department of Athletic Regulation, for his continued support of the ECC Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament at Mohegan Sun Arena. Thank you, Mike, for your support.
So a 6-point Whaler lead at the end of the first period, and I don't know that if I were to grade New London's effort, I'd give them an A, and if I could grade their execution, I'd probably give them a B+. I think they played, that's about as soundly a quarter as I've seen New London play.
What I loved is the fact that New London didn't settle for threes. How many times have we come into this arena and teams are just taking 4 or 5 threes in the first quarter, trying to, start their rhythm off. They got that first 3 to go down from Dev Williams. I think he took 1 more, but everybody else has been using the shot fake, getting to the basket, and putting that pressure on the St. Bernard defense to defend. Conversely, this zone has really bothered St. Bernard's. They haven't been able to get to the basket as easily as they normally do, and the transition defense has been very solid for the Whalers as well. No easy runouts for the Saints.
Outlaw in the high post. Good defense by Taylor. Now Colin O'Leary pulls up and gets it to go. And that's a bonus for the Saints. O'Leary with the offense. With O'Leary and Similian on the floor, the best defensive lineup. And there's O'Leary. He's going to draw the foul on Williams.
Tough one there. But that mid-range jumper is going to be open for the Saints. If they can knock it down, they can get back into this game quickly.
Wheeler. He's going to need some help. Alex Johnson fakes the 3, and we're going to get a foul on Devin Williams, I believe, coming in the backside.
And Johnson didn't have a lot of minutes in the semifinal against Wyndham. He came in, he shot an air ball, and we didn't really see a lot of him. But early in this game, I think Mark's looking for some offense from the perimeter, so Johnson has an opportunity here to contribute for his team.
Similian over Taylor. Taylor got a piece, and out of bounds, it'll be New London basketball. What I love about this matchup is both of these teams have aspirations for state championships. St. Bernard's is the #1 team in Division II, New London the #4 team in Division III. And I would suggest that this game is a great tune-up for the states, for both of them, in that New London will see teams like St. Bernard's, but they might be the best team they face. And New London is the perfect team for St. Bernard's to face before they go into the Division II tournament. So these two teams are getting a lot out of this, not just the ECC championship.
Xavier Good is won his matchup with Alex Johnson right now. Johnson cannot guard him, and he is keeping Johnson from shooting open threes. So credit this freshman who we've talked about in previous broadcasts is just getting better and better every game.
Phillips has Wheeler on him. Now Warren with Semillian. Warren picks his dribble up, and Good. Shuffle steps. Oh, he just abused Johnson with the left hand.
He can't guard him.
Xavier Good just put on a crossover clinic, and Alex Johnson, the victim. Mark Jones needs a timeout because his Saints are not just down 8, they're getting beat on both ends of the floor.
I don't know how this kid is a freshman. I mean, he is terrific. We've talked in the last couple seasons about a bunch of terrific freshmen. I think because there's so many good young sophomores on New London, including possible player of the year in Devin Williams, Xavier doesn't get a lot of credit, but man, I mean, he'd be a star on, a dozen teams in the ECC. He'd be the star player.
The key to New London is not the 3 sophomores. It's the maturation of Xavier Good and the emergence of Richard Taylor. They've changed the dynamic for New London. This is a vastly different New London team than it was even 2 weeks ago. And they now have the ability to go after St. Bernard's in a way they couldn't before. I said it against Fitch. This New London team has a chance to be special. There's a freshman on the bench in Julius Washington who's very talented. They've got kids coming up. This New London team can be special for a couple of years. With this St. Bernard's team as good as they are, I mean, this is a rivalry that will continue. I thought the 3 seniors for St. Bernard had a chance to really solidify this group. And we got a ton of basketball left. That's what I love St. Bernard's being down 8 in this regard. They've played their best basketball when teams have challenged them. And now this is the first time we've seen them in this position. Can they rally from an 8-point deficit? And how will they approach it? I love that New London got out to the hot start. And there's a quick one from Amir Gray. That's why he is the unsung player on St. Bernard's, because he still is there every time they need a big play.
Yeah, I think, as this game gets into the meat of the second quarter, you'll see him step up.
Oh, the Taylor block party. Another one. And finally a foul. Who's that one going to be on? But Taylor not letting anything happen around the rim, but Semillian was relentless.
Wow. I got to see this one again. That looked like actually Boo-Boo got it.
And you can see the Taylor's confidence on every possession building. He's now treating the rim like it's his own personal space. That whole idea of we must protect this house. He does not believe you're going to score around the basket. Conversely, Cedric Semillian's a player of the year candidate in his own right. And give him credit, he would not be denied on that possession. And he got the tip to Wheeler. Gray for another 3, no good.
Push off on Amari. And what Cedric gives them is a guy that can legitimately take his man off the dribble to the bucket. And so they need Cedric in the game, not only for his defense, but he's really the only guy that's going to be able to go to the basket and be able to take the contact that New London is going to give inside the paint.
Wheeler taking the challenge on Williams. Phillips, a long 3, short iron. Look at Gray go up high for the rebound. Here comes the Saints run, by the way. You can feel it. Timeout came, and the Saints are going to turn up the intensity.
Ryan Outlaw back in the game. I love him at the high post. He's a general. He sets this high ball screen. He rolls to that elbow.
Wheeler for 3. Tice! So nice.
And that zone's going to give up some of those open threes. You got to make sure you get closeouts, high hands. London failed to find Tyson that time.
You mentioned New London not settling for threes. Phillips launching that 3 that time. And then conversely, Wheeler with his best open look. They have Gray on good.
Much different defensive matchup. Now you see the difference when you put Gray on good as opposed to Johnson. You're talking about a guy that's battle-tested in Amir Gray. And that's going to be a matchup that you'll see for 3 more years.
And we're going to get a reach on Semillian. So when they switch up and they give Wheeler minutes on Williams, New London's got to recognize that and let Williams operate a little bit. But Tyson's become so good on his on-ball defense. We saw him play it in the semifinal game against Mangual.
Yeah, well, that's what New London does. You're not going to see a lot of offensive sets here. You're going to see them try to pick on the best matchup. And right now, yeah, there aren't really any good matchups for New London except for that one, but Tyson's rising to the challenge.
Well, he's become such a good on-ball defender, and they're going to try to challenge him. But, again, he takes that as a reason to rise up defensively.
New London sticking in the 2-3.
St. Bernard's a basket away from taking the lead, which seemed, improbable a few minutes ago. Wheeler for that long 3, no good. Right in the hands of Outlaw. And I think St. Bernard's got the message in the timeout.
Funny how that, like you said, Casey, that long 3 by Boo Boo, and then all of a sudden Tyson hits one, and then you get a turnover, and all of a sudden you let the Saints back into this game.
Williams floater, no good. Marshall, here they go. This is where they're at their best. Amir Gray, and Warren will draw the foul. Gray will go to the line. I've never seen a team as good as the Saints at turning a rebound into a scoring opportunity. Look at that outlet pass from Marshall.
Yeah, and New London, as we said a couple minutes ago, had been doing so good at getting back on defense and not allowing that to happen. So St. Bernard finally cracking the code, getting a run out in transition.
Gray misses the first one.
9-0 run for St. Bernard.
From 8 down, yet to 1 up.
10-0 run, up 2.
No subs in the game yet for New London either, by the way. They've played this 5 the whole way.
Yeah, we talked about the bigger floor. They don't look tired. I think really it just comes down to execution, and it's just harder to run this spread offense when St. Bernard has this lineup. There's no weak links right now that New London can pick on.
Outlaw skies for the rebound. Great defense from the Saints. Here comes Gray in the other direction.
Good ball fake.
Outlaw got Taylor in the air, and then Warren. Now New London's got a chance to run, but Gray, they got numbers.
Oh, beautiful.
What a great move, Amari Marshall. Basket is good, and the foul. New London might want to think about a timeout. They're down a basket and in danger of more.
Here it is, boop, land on 2. Deucing damage.
4-point Saints lead, biggest of the game, and Marshall will be at the line shooting the extra, a little extra harm, well earned. Free throw no good. New London pushing up ahead now. Boo Boo Phillips, crossover, and throws it to nobody. New London's a little out of control right now. They might need to think about a timeout.
And there you see the difference. Not playing off 2 feet, throwing a pass on the move, out of control. Sticking with this 2-3 zone though, but Ryan Outlaw makes a difference against this 2-3 zone because you have to respect him at the high post. Cedric as well.
Semillian, step back 3, no good. Look at Outlaw, tips it to Semillian, but here comes Savon Warren. No good, and it's going to end up being the Saints' ball. Tyson Wheeler just played perfect defense. 3-on-1 for New London with the athletic advantage of Warren, and Wheeler stood his ground and took the challenge.
That was actually the men's league. Pull the chair. He made it appear as if he was going to take the charge, and then the last second he just kind of backed up, and Savant, I think, was expecting some contact and threw it off the backboard too hard. And New London could not corral the offensive rebound, tipped it out of bounds. So that men's league savvy move from the senior. He's locked in. You could see it in his eyes. Ryan Outlaw, Tyson Wheeler, Cedric Semillian, the seniors on the floor here tonight.
Jamel Hazlett, senior from New London, into the ball game, replacing Taylor. Right over the top they go. They knew Taylor wasn't in the game, and Marshall, what an alley-oop from Gray. Good, no. Warren, no. Wheeler, no. Semillian, yes! And the foul. And right now, the Saints are firing on all cylinders, and New London wants a timeout. Can't keep the scintillating one off the glass.
Yeah, once again, just that little hesitation. Little shot fake, lets the defense glide instead of just going up right away. 2 possessions ago, that alley-oop, I mean, you know, there's nothing you could do about that. That was just throw it up to Megatron, and he gets his hands on it, lays it in reverse. And that's going to be some kind of special combination for the rest of this season and the next 2 on the hill for St. Bernard.
Well, New London had a 9-point lead like 30 seconds ago. And now it's an 8-point lead for St. Bernard's. It's a 17-point swing for the Saints. And the key came when Tyson Wheeler took on the Devin Williams challenge defensively. Because what that allowed is it allowed Amir Gray to go off on Zay Good, and Semillian moved over onto Phillips. And what that meant was that no one for New London was going to be able to do dribble penetration. Good was abusing, early in the game, and Gray is a much better on-ball defender against Good because Gray is so strong with his hands.
Yeah, and I think, Tyson hitting that 3, once again, I don't know why it's so true, but it is, especially with high school kids. When you hit a shot on offense, you play harder on defense. It's just how it is. I can't explain it, but that's just how it's always been. 20-something years of coaching. You make a shot, you play with a lot of energy on defense.
Semillian, he almost had the steal instead. Good. Now he does have the steal. Semillian with Warren. Oh, Cedric, scintillating.
And he's the guy, like I said, Casey, that he can get to the basket really easily. So strong, has those nifty moves, almost long strides, almost looks like he's traveling sometimes, but he's not.
Williams no good. Semillian running the floor with Marshall. And Amari finishes it up. New London's got 4 points this quarter, and they're down 13.
19-0 run, hard to believe in a championship game, especially after the start that they had.
They're gonna have the chance for the last shot here. Stop the bleeding. Great hands by Gray. Can Wheeler get it off? 3, dagger, no, but we're at halftime. What a second quarter for the St. Bernard Saints, limiting New London to 4 points in the second period and a 19-0 run. Mark Jones, we need to know what he said in that timeout, because from that moment, the Saints changed the game. George, take it away with Coach Jones.
Coach, when you called the timeout, what did you tell your guys that sparked this 19-0 run to end the second quarter?
We just had to play harder, you know what I mean? We weren't playing as hard as we, usually do. So I think we played harder, we competed a little bit more, and we paid attention to details.
And now going into halftime, coming out, what is the game plan for you guys to come out and get the win?
Just win.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Just win, simple, hard to execute. The Saints with a big second quarter have the lead. We're at halftime. Come on back. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Being part of a great community is so important. People helping and supporting others can be very uplifting and contagious. At Philomena's Restaurant, that's exactly what you get. It's the community hub for not just Waterford, but all of southeastern Connecticut. Birthday parties, anniversary dinners, weddings, sports banquets, a drink with friends, and of course, charity events. Philomena's has been, is, and will always be there for the community. Celebrate and support southeastern Connecticut at Philomena's. Philomena's, Utopia Plaza in Waterford.
Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient Federal Credit Union. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more.
We've had a long line of really great guards here. Tyson Whaler, Tom Pobleet, Kareem Brown, Lee Mitchell, Torrin Charles Harris, and Chris Dunn, who, in my estimation, somewhat stands alone. And, so he's transitioned into a freshman point guard last year, what we call him Boo-Boo, or Deshaun Phillip.
Came from when I was born. I was very small, Boo-Boo is a small injury. Like when you get a small injury, people say you got a boo-boo. So they just called me that because I was really small as a baby.
The mantle that he's carrying on is pretty outstanding. There's definitely a big responsibility there to be a point guard for New London High School, which is one of the premier programs historically, in the state of Connecticut, without a doubt.
For me, it's an honor, and I know that for that position, you gotta work very hard. You gotta be a dog on the court, always hardworking, a leader. I've been thinking about this when I was little. When I was 6 years old and hearing about Chris Dunn and stuff. My aunt's telling me about him, and I always wanted to come play here. And when I got old enough to know the positions, I always wanted to be a point guard at New London.
You win with guards at any level. You have to have guards. And we definitely have the guards this year. We have Dev Williams that's here, transferred in from St. Bernard's to sophomore. Very good player, along with Boo-Boo. And Savon is going to be playing more on the perimeter for us this year. Those three kids are all sophomores, and I think they're definitely talented enough, experienced enough, only being sophomores, to carry us. If our inside games develops as we're hoping, we should be a team that's, to be reckoned with statewide this year.
At The Day, we pride ourselves on giving our readers the best coverage of local high school sports. Whether in-depth stories, photos and video, or columns, our dedicated reporters are on the sidelines covering it all, providing you with the stats, analysis, and commentary you've grown to know and trust. Subscribe today at theday.com to receive full access to all our coverage.
So we were supposed to be the Fro Bros because his hair was bigger than mine. He blow dried it. I was like, yo, we might have something here. And then he played against NFA and he wasn't shooting well. He's like, yo, I lost my powers. I need to get the braids back. So, he switched back to the braids from football. And it's like, I thought it was fine for football, but we agreed that he was going to wear it out big for basketball, and he just went behind my back and got to braid it up on me.
You see him, you think he's the meanest out of all of us, but to be honest, he's definitely the nicest, most caring person in our family. People pay him out as a villain, so it's like, you just want to see him embrace that role, because when Ryan gets angry, he gets angry. I really want him to embrace that role that people paid him out to be, because when he's angry, he plays like a whole different beast.
I just tell him to play football out there. I mean, I understand people will say the villain, but that's not him. You know what I mean? He's too good of a kid to be a villain. You know what I mean? But he could play football out there because he's played that his whole life, and just be physical and be mean. You know what I mean? So he's getting there, though, and you could see it coming, and it's my job to know what buttons to push to get him to get there, So I've been trying to figure that out all year and, working with Marcus and talking to him about it.
I changed these guys' diapers, They were my little brothers, through and through. And, it was plenty of times where mom and dad needed me to babysit. Mom and dad needed me to coach, needed me to parent in a way. So, I'm very protective of all my siblings. Part of me is that villain side of me, just, using that fuel to heighten your game and make you play better. So, I tell these guys all the time, the fact that people are talking about you in the first place means you're doing something good.
Do you think if you get Marcus to because his is starting to head that way, do you think if Marcus lets it go, then maybe we get Justin back in through the triplets?
Hey, I already have my dad getting it for a little bit. So if Marcus, he getting there a little bit. So if we get Marcus and then we get Justin, we might have a whole fro family.
That's a hard decision. But if his gets like a certain height, I just feel like I gotta commit to it and just embrace it. So you got it. I got you.
Being part of a great community is so important. People helping and supporting others can be very uplifting and contagious. At Philomena's Restaurant, that's exactly what you get. It's the community hub for not just Waterford, but all of southeastern Connecticut. Birthday parties, anniversary dinners, weddings, sports banquets, a drink with friends, and of course, charity events. Philomena's has been, is, and will always be there for the community. Celebrate and support southeastern Connecticut at Philomena's. Philomena's, Utopia Plaza in Waterford.
I think Dev is sort of unique. I think so far he's been a unique player for us in terms of scoring from the outside, and just he has an uncanny ability when he drives to the basket to score in different ways.
St. B's, I didn't really have the ball as much. Here, I get the ball way more. I can do a lot more, show what I can do more.
Dev scores where you don't even realize he's accumulated that many points.
Williams for three. Got it.
At one point, my wife, who was doing the book, came over to me and said he has 39, and I was stunned. I had no idea. Same thing the last game. I had no idea he had 28 points. So when a player can score in bunches and a lot of points and you don't even realize what he's doing, that means he's not forcing shots. He's being very efficient with the shots that he takes.
Williams at the buzzer. Good if it goes. Got it. D. Will with a thrill at the
I knew I was going to fit in great with like Boomer and Savant because we've been playing with each other since babies. So I already knew I'd be able to fit in with them. Even though I haven't played with them in a little bit, I knew we was going to have the chemistry right off the rip.
We played in multiple fall leagues, New Haven and Norwich. Played in the summer league, and there was a good chemistry initially between the three of them, the dynamics between the three of them. So it's not like he was just coming into our program, just playing like now with us. They have multiple games under their belts, and it's been a good transition thus far.
It's kind of a big rivalry now. It's probably one of the most hyped up games in the ECC. I'd say the most hyped up game in the ECC. And it's just going to be a fun game playing against the guys I used to play against. It's just going to be a great game. We're going to be battling. Even though we guys off the court, but we're going to be battling like we enemies on the court.
After the game, find us on social media at GameDayCT for our interview with the Foxwoods Player of the Game. And check out all the great entertainment coming this winter at Foxwoods. Go to foxwoods.com/entertainment. It's the Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all.
The little school on the hill sending its student section out to the sun tonight, and they are in full force dancing out to a little Village People, and what a first half roller coaster ride. It started off, we thought the Saints were going to come on fire, but New London just kept getting to the basket. And you said it, Juice, as soon as Devin Williams knocked down that first three, it looked like New London had something going. Good was getting to the basket, and New London was attacking the rim, but that pull-up jump shot that was so available with Good and with Phillips really got taken away late after Mark Jones called that timeout and changed up defenses. Suddenly, everything started turning the Saints' ways, and it started right there with that long three by Wheeler.
Yeah, that deep one really gave Tyson some bounce in his step. He took on the challenge to guard Williams, and really St. Bernard just locked New London up from that point on. And New London has to go back to the drawing board and figure out how are they going to be able to create opportunities to get to the basket, or at least get Devin Williams some open jump shots. That's number one, circled with 50 stars next to it. Don't let Devin Williams get open threes. So that's going to be very hard to do. They had a better chance of playing that kind of spread basketball where they're able to drive to the basket and hope that Taylor could get some offensive rebounds. But Ryan Outlow quietly has neutralized Taylor on offense. On defense, Taylor's been fantastic. He's having a block party again, but he hasn't done anything on offense. He hasn't got the offensive rebounds or the tips. Ryan's done a great job keeping him off the offensive glass.
Well, I think you said it. In order for New London to get in it starts on the offensive end, because the Saints are the best team I've seen all year on transition. When they grab a rebound on the defensive end, they're off and gone. And that's what happened. New London just went cold. They couldn't make a basket, and the Saints just kept running and running and running. And then New London would come down, go one-on-one, miss a shot, and off went the Saints. So we could turn and give you some scores on the girls' side of things. It's a good night in the ECC. NFA with a 53-42 win over Amity. Stonington put a hurting on Wilcox Tech. Wyndham over Plainfield, and Cromwell knocked off Griswold. Those are your scores on the girls' side. Westbrook beat St. Bernard. Summers over Wheeler, and Lyman over Putnam. New London will have the ball here to start the second half, and they need a basket to start this half. More than anything else, they got to get to the basket and get a good shot. Wheeler will stay on Devin Williams. And Phillips loses it off his foot, and you can see the defensive. You said Mark Jones gives his kids freedom offensively if they do their jobs defensively. And you can see the Saints have started it on defense.
Yeah, it's really similar to what Griswold did in the first game. Just a little bit different type of athlete here on St. Bernard, but the philosophy is still the same, that you're gonna be on an island with a guy. You're gonna have a lot of help behind you, but you can't let that guy dribble middle on you. And you wanna force jump shots. You see a substitution for the Whalers, Julius Washington coming into the game for the first time, and Mark wants a timeout.
So Washington checks into the ball game for New London, and this is a timeout for St. Bernard. So we'll take a quick timeout as well, brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better Burns. Much better. So much better Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better Burns. You buy better Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Time for human reactions to the Jumbotron. Look, it's me on a big screen. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna be shy. I'm gonna giggle. Much better, the cheerleaders. But when you're on the Jumbotron, it's human nature. You have to do one of three things. You have to act animated, shy, or you bust your best dance move out. I can see Juice. Yeah, I can see you going running man when the Jumbotron comes on.
Great out of bounds play out the timeout. Amari just missed it.
And with Taylor and Washington in the game, it gives New London a little bit more size, but we'll see. I'm curious to see what Washington brings on the offensive end, replacing Phillips.
St. Bernard staying in the man-to-man.
And they got Semillion on Washington. That's a tough matchup for him. Long three for Savon Warren. Back iron, no good. Washington tips it, and it goes into the hands of Wheeler. Still a lid on the basket for the Whalers. Wheeler for three. Bank is open. Tyson Wheeler makes a $3 withdrawal.
Tyson's playing with so much confidence right now. It's like he's just playing a pickup game. Just bouncing around out there.
16-point lead and a steal. Up ahead to Wheeler. Behind the back to Semillion. And he loses it, and it'll be off New London. It's a 16-point lead. It was a 9-point Whaler lead not that long ago. It's just, I can't remember the last time a team clamped down defensively like this Saints team.
It's a special team. It's a special group.
Wheeler, spot up three. No good side iron. Taylor with a rebound. Williams. Floater. And there it is, finally.
Well, we saw it in the first half. A bad three is a turnover for both of these teams. Like, they're so quick in transition, and the pressure bothers the Saints.
Good. Drives, left hand. He is very tough with his left hand.
As impressed as I was with Christian Russell in the first game, I'm equally as impressed with Xavier Good on this stage, how well he's played.
Taylor with a block. Up ahead, Williams over Marshall, and Whalers on a little run. Got it to 10.
And what did it start with, Casey? A bad three, didn't need it. Wild miss, leads to a run out.
Marshall, but there's Outlaw weak side, and we're going to get a foul. Whalers played good defense, but St. Bernard's has gone to school on Taylor. They know he'll leave his feet, and every time he leaves his feet, weak side is available. Outlaw is there for the rebound.
It's that pump fake, that's in the Outlaw genes. His brother did it all the time. And the thing about Ryan is he makes his free throws. And I jinxed him, of course, the announcer jinx.
I was going to make
right on cue.
I was going to make a jeans joke about Jordache, Z Cavarici, various jeans of the 80s, but then I realized that, like, you know, I'm old, not him. Empty set. Amari Marshall had a chance, and instead it'll go out of bounds over to the Whalers. Whalers right now down 10 after that little run. It started on the defensive end. Let's see if they can get another good look here. Wheeler still on Williams. High screen coming from Washington. Long three for Williams, no good. Taylor tips, and Gray comes out. He'll push 2-on-1. Blocked by Taylor. Weak side, Semillian off the good miss.
See, that's where Xavier will learn in time to play off 2 feet. That was a great opportunity for him to get to the jump stop, draw a foul, get to the free throw line, instead of trying to squeeze in that little gap there.
Marshall on a good look from Wheeler, draws the foul on Warren. Basket is good, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, once again, just going to school on that shot fake underneath and drawing the deuce and damage. Lead back up to 12.
Third foul on Warren. I think New London's going to go to the bench. Phillips will come back in. Crowd of just over 3,000 for tonight's doubleheader as Marshall knocks it down and Boo Boo Phillips checks back into the ballgame.
Good crowd. Good crowd. Not as big of a student section as we've seen in past years, but it's a good crowd overall. Julius Washington's given good minutes here to the Whalers. He's only a freshman. So future is bright for green and gold.
Former teammates, Gray and Williams. Look at the hustle of Gray, gets it ahead to Semillian. Stripped by Good. Taylor ends up with it. Now Washington. Little sloppy. Step back three for Williams. Got it. D. Will knocks down the triple. Back to 10.
They lost him in transition. He's so good. And really some great hustle plays from Julius Washington to get the Whalers back in the scoring column this quarter.
Good hands from Washington. Here comes Williams. He can fly. Good. Drives. Hangs. Washington with the putback. Whalers have it to 8. Good basket by Julius Washington.
And we've talked about him before in previous broadcasts. His mom was a New London great on the girls' side. His uncles were great Whaler athletes. It's in his blood.
Good out of the pack. Ahead to Phillips on Outlaw. Kicks. Williams wide open three. No good, but Phillips with the rebound. Second chance. Williams drives, pulls up, and buries it from 12 feet, and the lead is 6.
14 for Williams, and great recognition from Boo Boo to get Devin another shot.
Williams tips it. Semillian comes down with it. Wheeler finds a cutting Marshall. Blocked by Taylor. A Taylor-made block at the rim. And a reaching foul will be called on Good, up ahead on Gray. What a block by Taylor. Amari Marshall is not used to being challenged at the rim like this. Look at this block.
Oh man, he's been terrific these last 2 games on the day. He's gonna hire you, Casey, to broadcast all his games. I mean, he's been a one-man wrecking crew. I haven't seen a shot blocker in our league in quite some time.
Major Roman.
Dominate like this.
That's
That's
what it reminds me of, though.
Yeah.
Like where everything is just an absolute battle at the rim.
Silencer from Cedric.
That's exactly what that was, too. Gets the lead back to 9.
Once again, Washington has given this team great minutes with his activity, setting those high ball screens.
Phillips no good. Gray saves it. He'll be on the line, so it'll stay with New London.
That's Washington again.
Yeah, Washington's size gives them a little something. Warren's a little more physical, but Washington's playing long.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the difference.
Williams wants it. He gets it on Wheeler. Wide open look. Phillips drives. That's going to be a charge, I believe. No, a block on Outlaw.
Yeah, he started to fall before the. That's a great call by Dave Cruz. He started to fall before the contact occurred.
2 big free throws here for Boo Boo Phillips. The lead is 9. First one is just short. 1 more for Phillips. Here's the replay of that block.
Watch, he'll just start to duck down instead of taking it. Looked like he might have got hit in the head though, so sometimes you gotta save yourself. Just pick up the block.
Second one no good. Empty set for Boo Boo Phillips. Whalers can ill afford missed free throws as they are down 9. Marshall to Gray, dump down, out low, and that was a good job using his body. Taylor will get the foul.
Yeah, Taylor has been able to block most people's shots tonight, but not Ryan Outlaw's because of the hesitation.
When he squares up, he's such a broad, his shoulders are so broad. When he squares up that way, the only way Taylor can make the block is to go over his back. There's just no way. And Outlaw, so strong. And ever since you said he was such a good free throw shooter, he's missed 3 straight.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna reverse jinx you here.
Okay.
Outlaw really struggling from the free throw line. Knocks it into Washington, who gets it ahead to Good, freshman to freshman. Good picks up his dribble and gives it to Phillips.
Wheeler's got to just keep executing. You're not going to get it all back in one possession. Good decisions.
Washington blocked by Outlaw, out of bounds. It goes, and I think Merrick Trubisky is going to say last touched by the Whalers. It'll be St. Bernard ball.
Minute to go here in the third.
So the Whalers have cut at this point into the lead a little bit. They'd like it to be at around 6. St. Bernard's wants it at 12.
There it is again.
Taylor, weak side with a block. Gray, spot up 3, short. Outlaw, underneath.
The hustle save by Gray, Casey. Wow.
Lead back to 11.
Those are the types of plays you look back and what made the difference. It's going out of bounds. No, it's not. Gray's got it. Gets his teammate a layup.
Good. Drives. Out of bounds. It goes off of the Saints. They wanted to travel. I think they probably have a good cause.
Chop wants a foul. Dave Cruz said a clean.
Yeah, one team wants to travel, the other team wants a foul, so possession. Whalers at this point are probably better off taking the last shot, down 11. Except Wheeler shows his hands. Finds Gray. Oh, Amir Gray hanging in the air, and that takes us to the end of the 3, and it's back to 13. The Whaler work for naught. Fourth quarter action will be coming up. The Saints running all cylinders.
Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient Federal Credit Union. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more. All that is good begins with a smile. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile is our top priority. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Contact us today. Visit us at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information.
So much talent in the green and gold, but they find themselves down 13 in part because the senior leadership of the St. Bernard Saints have been so tough. Jim Bunicor at center court.
For sports and entertainment here at Mohegan Sun Arena, ECC t-shirt. Thank you, Ben, and all the
Great
Mohegan
article
Sun
today,
staff that
Casey,
support
from Mike
the
tomorrow in
ECC
the
boys
day.
and girls basketball
Just
tournaments
the relationship
here at
between
Mohegan
the
Sun
ECC
Arena.
and Mohegan Sun, and the opportunity for these guys to play 2 championship games, and the girls to play 2 championship games last week. We're the envy of every league in the state, and with this broadcast, making the kids feel special like they're on ESPN. It's just a terrific night for high school basketball in Eastern Connecticut.
So the Saints and the Whalers. A lot of people think this might be the final for the next couple of years. Colin O'Leary back into the ball game. Want to talk about that exchange, Juice?
Yeah, well, Tyson might have been listening to the last broadcast. He said, we don't need said today. We got Tyson locking up. He's playing with a lot of confidence. I mentioned that a couple minutes ago. He looks like he's just playing a pickup game. He's very comfortable. These lights aren't bothering him at all. We saw, in the first game, some nerves out there, but Tyson's just bouncing around, just having fun.
Wheeler, floater, no good. Savon Warren running now for the Whalers. And that's a nice, easy finish. Savon Warren at the basket. Kind of baskets the Whalers need right now, back to 11.
And what has been the Saints' Achilles heel all season, Casey? Boredom. They get bored, and then, they get sloppy.
That's a good set. Taylor from the weak side, or is that Washington? Washington from the weak side gets Marshall. That's a great set. And you're right, Ryan Outlaw at the high post is a great distributor.
Yeah, nice bounce pass. Luckily, Julius was there to clean it up. It would have been a layup. A lot of time left, but the Whalers are going to have to create some turnovers or some bad shots.
Oh, great look. Wheeler to O'Leary. Tice with the vision.
Mark Jones with the Tiger Woods fist pump. He liked that one.
Now Wheeler gets a break. Williams gets guarded by O'Leary. Splits it, hangs, floats. D. Will.
16 for Williams. He's done his part tonight.
Gray with the basketball to Wheeler now.
Extended 2-3 zone for the Whalers.
Long three for Wheeler, no good. Tipped. Taylor comes out of the pack with it. Now Warren pushes for the Whalers. Good with a big three, no good. Look at Warren score. Soren Savon Warren.
They can chip away if the Saints have some of those long misses. They're able to get out in transition and get some open looks.
Wheeler. He wanted Marshall to cut. Marshall got one step, not two. He needed a little extra bit. Semillian will check back in.
So O'Leary gives Semillian a couple minutes to rest, and Cedric should be able to play the last 550 and take them home. Whalers not out of it yet, though.
Good. Crossover. Hangs in the air. High floater, no good. Taylor tips. It's on the floor. Warren comes down with it. He's looking for help. And a timeout. Kareem Brown. New London will call it. And with that timeout, we will keep it here. Talk a little bit about what the Whalers have done to chip away and get this to within 9.
Well, when a long shot misses, it's usually a long rebound, and that allows the Whalers to get a little bit of transition, to set up a little bit. Even if they don't get a layup, the Saints aren't in position to get a defensive rebound as easily. So they get a shot up, they're able to get an offensive rebound. Savon got the offensive rebound last possession, and they get a couple easy baskets, and then their defensive intensity increases. They're extending the zone a little bit and forcing the Saints to make some decisions that they wouldn't normally make. But Coach Jones probably right now is saying, guys, it's time and score. We don't have to force the issue. We're up 9. Get a stop, and let's get a good shot on offense. For the Whalers, they want to try to get the ball to their guy, Devin Williams, and clean up the miss.
You talked about the Saints and boredom. I'm going to give you a thought on that in a moment. As Good has Gray on him, crosses him over, flies to the basket, will get a foul on the floor. You ever seen a pitcher with the 90-mile-an-hour fastball in high school? And if he threw nothing but fastballs, he could win every time. But he gets bored. So he wants to show his breaking ball off. He wants to show his changeup off. And that's how he gets hurt. But when crunch time comes and he gives up a couple hits, you see the 90-mile-an-hour fastball again. That's what I feel like with the Saints as Warren goes up and scores. Sometimes they get a little bored at doing the simple things. They want to show off the cool passes and the lobs and the long threes. And then you get close and they go, all right, time for the 90-mile-an-hour fastball again. They're going to need a 90-mile-an-hour fastball soon because it's cut to 7. Marshall, out low for 3. Fastball outside corner. Strike 3, Brian Outlow.
Clutch shot from Outlow.
I saw him against Windsor knock down 2 corner threes, and I said on that day, if Ryan Outlow is going to knock down threes, this team, I mean, I don't know how you defend him. Savon Warren for 3, no good. Taylor gets it to Williams for 3. That's going to be short. And Amir Gray immediately looking up. Outlow sets the screen. Foul line jumper. So pretty by Gray. Tipped out of bounds. But, I mean, that's great execution right there. Gray saw the screen and immediately went hard downhill.
Yeah, just a big wide screen at the top of the key from Outlow. Gives Gray that space to penetrate, get to the foul line.
Zay Good drives, hangs, double clutch, and scores.
12 for Good. His dribble penetration game is serious. He's going to be a star in this league.
Taylor with a block, but we're going to get a foul on the call on the floor. We'll see what the call is. Tim Viveris says that foul's on Washington. I mean, nothing against Richard Taylor, who's played unbelievable, but next year, Washington slides into that spot, and you're going to see juniors, Williams, Warren, Phillips, sophomore Washington and sophomore Good, and this team's going to be lights out, and that's not even counting the other kids that are, on this roster who can step up over the course of it. This is probably, I don't want to say the precipice, but this is probably the year that New London is a little bit away. St. Bernard's is, I'm going to say it, St. Bernard's better. They're a better team. They've been a better team all year. They've been better than everybody. In part, it's Semillion and Wheeler and Outlow and the seniors. St. Bernard's is right now a little better than New London, but this is going to be a matchup that we are going to love in the coming years.
Yeah, some good players on the St. Bernard bench as well that are salivating at getting their opportunity next year. But like you said, Casey, it's about these seniors and finishing the job. 3:52 to get through phase 1 of their championship journey.
Yep, they've done it all year, undefeated in the ECC. They want the ECC Division I championship, and then they want a state championship in Division II of the CIAC. That's a freshman right there, ladies and gentlemen. Julius Washington up at the basket. He scores. New London will take a timeout. We got a timeout on the floor. Whalers have it to 8. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better than first. Much better. So much better than first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better than first. You buy better than first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
8-point St. Bernard lead, 3:41 remaining here in the ball game. Division I championship of the ECC boys. We saw Griswold with the win in Game 1 over Killingly, and St. Bernard's looking to put its final touches on an undefeated ECC season. Their losses all came out of conference. The Whalers, the number 2 seed, have shown glimpses. Got it close after an early 9-point lead, turned into a big deficit. They've chipped away, and they'll go into some full court pressure.
Yeah, the game's not over yet. Fitch was down 12 with a minute and a half to go on Saturday and had the ball down 2.
Marshall, blocked by Taylor.
Good decision by Tyson. Use some clock here.
Similian picks the dribble up. Now Amir Gray. They're going to make the Whalers come out and play. High screen. Gray splits. Floater over Taylor. No good. Weak side rebound. Wheeler. He was on the line, so it'll stay with the Saints.
5 team fouls on the Whalers, so they have 1 to give before the Saints are in the 1-1.
Ball tipped away, Washington. Williams, floater, too strong. Warren can't tip it. Similian comes out of the pack, and he'll be fouled away from about mid-court. That foul's on Xavier Good.
Those are the kinds of sequences that you look back on. What if?
Yeah, could have had a 6.
Yeah, what if Devin makes that floater and we put our press on, but they made it sloppy. Tyson hustled back, made it sloppy, and Saints have the ball again, still up 8. Next foul, they'll be in the 1-1.
Lazy lob. Similian has it, and Mark Jones wants timeout. He does not like what he saw right there from his group. That's a full timeout, so we'll take this break. Brought to you by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better than first. Much better. So much better than first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better than first. You buy better than first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
2 minutes, 20 seconds, and an 8-point St. Bernard lead here in the Division I ECC Boys Final. It's been a great night here at the Mohegan Sun. Griswold with the earlier championship in D2, and now the Saints trying to wrap up their perfect season in the ECC with a championship. Both of these teams will be moving on. St. Bernard will be the #1 seed in Division II, looking at a potential quarterfinal rematch with Windsor, and New London will be the 4 seed, looking at a potential rematch with Fitch.
Man-to-man out of bounds here for New London. Next New London foul, the Saints will shoot 1 and 1.
Good free throw shooters on the floor for the Saints. Gray finds Outlaw. He got Taylor in the air with the hesitation, and he'll go to the line. Savvy senior, Ryan Outlaw.
He's been doing it all night, just that little hezzy shot fake, and that gets Taylor up in the air and gets him with his knee there. Ryan's missed his last 4 free throws, so let's see if he can.
I mean, you jinxed him, so there's really no. I mean, I don't think there's any way he makes this one.
Yes. I don't like to be the cause.
I had to help you out, Coach.
Thanks.
I mean, that was 4 in a row. I felt bad for the kid. That was the juicy jinx. Back to good form for Outlaw. And Boo Boo Phillips going to check in the game. Washington will take a seat. Good minutes from Julius Washington tonight. Actually, it's Taylor that's going to take a seat. Washington stays. So a little offense for the Whalers right now.
Very young team, 2 freshmen, 3 sophomores.
Good, hangs and scores. Yeah, he's going to be a special player.
Yeah, he might be their best dribbler in terms of the dribble moves that he possesses.
Wheeler, Tice, so nice. We're going to get a foul before the pass on Amir Gray.
Only the 3rd. So St. Bernard has done a great job of not fouling this half.
Savon Warren, long pass to Good. Good. Stripped by Gray, it'll stay with the Whalers.
Think about all the basketball you see, Casey, where teams just press and make it messy and pick up a lot of fouls. St. Bernard's has played great pressure defense. They only have 3 team fouls. And you don't have to play that crazy man-to-man defense when you're hacking all the time to play good D.
That's his maturation we're seeing too, by the way. Savon Warren, that rise up 3-point shot. Gets the Whalers to within 7. They got trap. And a timeout, Mark Jones. A Similian was in the trap zone. Timeout, Saints, 30 seconds. We'll keep it here.
So right now for the Saints, they drawing up an out-of-bounds play here on the sideline out of bounds. Get the ball in. Make sure that you are aware that a trap is coming. Maloney's going to try to trap right away and then take away the first pass available. You got to be strong, find the open man, and then be prepared to take contact. You know, sometimes if you swipe hard at the ball, the refs might not call the foul, so you got to be strong with it. Who do you think the most valuable player is if the Saints hold on, Casey?
Man, in this game, I mean, Ryan Outlaw was in the semi. I got to think if I had to choose, I'd choose Ryan Outlaw right now, based on this game and last game. This game, I think you could give it to almost any one of the Saints.
How about now?
Yeah, I think it's Ryan Outlaw.
17 for the big man. Saints back up 9.
Warren, long 3, short, put back underneath Devin Williams. And a quick strip stays with the Saints as we're at 54 seconds remaining. The lead is 7.
Whalers not giving up, but they're going to have to foul soon.
Looking for the steal. Got to get out of Wheeler's hands.
Got to foul here. Got to foul.
Marshall instead finds Similian. And the easy basket. Stripped by Gray. And Amir Gray to the basket. And the Saints with the exclamation point. Steal by Marshall. Semillian steps on the end line, 19 seconds remaining. But this is now 11, and this one is over in 20 seconds.
Great fight from the Whalers. They didn't give up, and we're going to have a technical foul here. So the Whalers will get a couple free throws, but they didn't give up, and a very young team on the floor. 3 sophomores, 2 freshmen. Mayor Gray must have said something to pick up the technical foul, and obviously high school athletics, all athletics, got to maintain that sportsmanship. The referees must have heard something. Devin makes 1 of 2, but right now it's a celebration of a great season in the ECC for the St. Bernard Saints. The Whalers will regroup, and both teams will get ready for a state tournament run where both will have good chances to go deep.
Rebound, Marshall up ahead, it goes to Gray. He's ahead of the pack. And he tried to throw it down. He couldn't quite get there. Williams will spot up for 3. Good. And that'll do it. Congratulations, Mark Jones and the St. Bernard Saints. It started a few years ago with a Division II crown. Now add a Division I crown to the mix. The Saints undefeated in conference all year. Moved to 20-3 on the year, so 20 wins, an ECC Division I title, and the Saints go marching to victory.
And what a terrific job that Coach Jones has done at St. Bernard. About a decade ago, they had trouble fielding a team, and now they are one of the premier programs, not only in Eastern Connecticut, but in the state of Connecticut. They took on the challenge to move up in division to Division I in the regular season, Division I in the tournament, and Division II in the state tournament. Tiny school on the hill in Uncasville, Connecticut, playing with the big boys and looking the part.
You know, it's funny, you said it's a great point. From Division II of the ECC to Division II of the state in a matter of years. New London in Division III, a legit chance to make it to a state final. 5 losses on the season, 3 of them to St. Bernard's, the #1 team in Division II. So New London with a legit chance. If Xavier Good and Richard Taylor continue this play, this team, as young as they are, has a chance to make it to a state final. But this is a special season for St. Bernard. They knew with the 3 seniors, mixing with the young group of sophomores. And it wasn't just that. It was Brian Outlaw added to the mix. It was Alex Johnson transferring in. The mixture perfect. And an undefeated regular season culminates in a championship in Division I and now on to the Division II playoffs in the CIAC.
Yeah, and they prepared themselves for this march by playing tough competition in the regular season and by discarding of ECC challengers every step of the way. They had the bullseye on their back. They were the hunted. For many years, they were the hunter. It's always easier to be the hunter. But when you're the hunted, you have to go against everybody's best effort every night. And they were able to hold serve, and now they'll celebrate the spoils of all that hard work.
Well, your most valuable player, tournament MVP, Ryan Outlaw, Semillian Marshall, Williams Good, and Ryan Outlaw. What a way to cap his year in the ECC. He was sort of the last piece that the Saints needed. You talked about their competition that they played. Their only losses this year in the state of Connecticut are to Ridgefield and Northwest Catholic. Both Division I schools ranked very high in Division I. Other than that, the Saints plowed through and they played good teams. They played Windsor, they played Immaculate, they played a lot of good teams. And this Whaler team is a perfect matchup for them heading into the States. A team that's feisty and gritty and athletic and can run. And this is a good matchup. That defense that the Saints played on the ball to start that second quarter really turned things around.
Yeah, and talking about Ryan Outlaw 9 years ago, the first broadcast that Game Day had of the ECC final. His older brother was the tournament most valuable player, and now as a senior, he wins that same award, and he did it with just that leadership that he's always shown from a young age. He's an old soul, and I think that was the kind of the piece that St. Bernard needed, that kind of tough leadership, a guy that was positive, tough positive leadership. Like, he's tough inside, he's not gonna go down easily, but he's positive, he loves his teammates, he just wants to win, and good for him that it was able to culminate with kind of an offensive explosion in these last 2 games, really the last 3 games, because he played great against Windsor in the regular season finale. So, you know, watch out. Division II in the state tournament is I think, overloaded. I think the CIAC made some mistakes with too many teams in Division II, not enough in Division I, not enough in Division III. So it's not going to be an easy road, but they have all the pieces to make a deep run and win it all.
Well, George Hathaway is with the most valuable player of the ECC Division I tournament, Ryan Outlaw. George.
I'm here with the tournament MVP. Long time no see. Feels like we were just interviewing each other. Ryan Outlaw, 17 points tonight. First question I have to ask you, I mean, your brother, a few years back, he won tournament MVP. Now you won tournament MVP. How's it feel to kind of follow in your brother's footsteps?
It feels great. You know, it just kind of runs in the family. We all do good in the ECC tournament. I don't know if you know, but my sister is a 4-time ECC champ, so put some respect on her name. She got some of these too. So it's just building up the trophy case, you know what I mean? It feels good. It feels good to be the next one up, and I'm sure my boy's coming too.
Oh yeah, I got to pass it down to younger bro here, but I mean, you played phenomenal tonight, and we talked a lot about, remember our last interview about, you know, the paint presence that you had. I mean, New London, bigger guys out there, but you still dominated. So can you speak on to how you were able to just score so many points in the paint?
I know they're very aggressive, they're very athletic, and I knew if I pump faked a lot, I'd get some cheap fouls because, you know, they jump. So I've been watching a lot of film, and it's just using their strength against them. I had a lot of help from my teammates. Amari Marshall takes a lot of pressure off my back. Cedric and Tyson and Amir, they all do their thing. The bench comes in, do their thing. And keep it real, some of these guys that don't play be working us in practice. But it's just a team effort, you know what I mean? I'm happy we got it done.
Well, congratulations, Ryan, once again. I mean, Division I, ECC champions, and tournament MVP. So now I do have some questions here for Coach Jones. He's just trying to get Amir and Tyson Wheeler in here. Taking some pictures.
Yo, big time now? It took you off to get that too.
Well, Coach, congratulations on being Division I ECC champions. I mean, New London, they made it close in the fourth quarter. What did you kind of tell your guys to pull out the victory?
I mean, they're a good team, you know what I mean? And they're not going to stop playing. We couldn't turn the ball over. We had to rebound, and Tyson did an unbelievable job on Dev, man. He's one of the best players in our league, and Tyson did a great job on him.
And Ryan, he had 17 points tonight, tournament MVP. How did he help you guys kind of just go above and beyond tonight?
Nah, he played his butt off, man. I mean, around the basket, rebounding. But, I mean, he's been playing well the last, couple weeks. He's been doing that. So I wasn't surprised by it, but he did a great job, though.
You guys have a young team here. I mean, there's 2 seniors, but primarily a young team. How's the future looking here for St. Bernard's?
Good. I mean, we got some really, really good young players. Sometimes it's hard because, we have good seniors, so it's hard to play some of the young kids that normally they would play, but they can wait their turn and they'll be all right.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Once again, thank you so much.
Congratulations, Mark Jones. Let's take a look at how they got here. And, talked about seniors. When Wheeler hits the bank shot, that's when we knew it was time.
Congrats, brother.
Off the bank, we knew for a fact that it was going to be the Saints' night. But the New London Whalers aren't going away easy. We talked about the youth, the seniors for St. Bernard's, the seniors for New London. Richard Taylor stepped up big. Williams kept New London in it. But at the end of all of it, it was just the savvy of St. Bernard's, right? I mean, they found a way to make a play every time they needed to make a play.
Yeah, and like we talked about in the broadcast, Casey, it might have been a little bit of boredom, but really impressed with New London over the course of these last few days. The semifinal game and the final here tonight, and just trending upward in terms of their trajectory. Hopefully they can keep it rolling in the state tournament coming up. But we talked about how St. Bernard had been tested all season long, so even when they have those stretches where they start to make some plays that are, the wild plays that don't hit, they're able to settle in and execute and make the play that matters. I thought you had the great analogy with when they need a fastball, they throw the fastball.
Well, this wraps up an incredible few weeks of tournament play here in the ECC, from the Stonington girls and New London girls to the Griswold and St. Bernard boys. The ECC champions have been crowned, and now the state tournament is alive and well on both the girls and the boys' side. So a lot more action to be had. For everybody at Mohegan Sun, we can't thank you enough for all that you do for Game Day and for all of the people involved with Game Day. Thank you, Coach. Casey O'Neill. Good night, everybody.